All right, continue Act 2. Oh, we got all these things. These are all the things we can do. Okay, Medusa's lair, Aphrodite's party, talk to Persephone, talk to Freddy, talk to Apollo. There is so much we can do. And y'all told me last time that there's nothing that, like, I can miss. It's not like, oh, you have to either go to the party or go to Medusa's lair. Like, so that makes me feel really good. I'm not gonna, like, make the wrong decision. Okay, I should go confront Medusa or go to Aphrodite's party. Okay, let's do Medusa. Hey, cool boy. Go. We haven't met Medusa yet.
This must be the Viper's Nest. Scariest part of town, no sign. Just that one dude glaring at everyone. Well, I'm here now. Just another day in the life of an idol.
Grace, of all the places
he's
to
still
run
around.
to a friend.
Pan, what are you doing here?
I'm the one who told you about this place. You didn't expect my curiosity to get the better of me?
I don't need you.
Let me guess. You feel bad about how we left our last conversation.
Me? Feel bad?
You know, the part where you still believe I'm gonna die.
It's true. I am a bad man, and I spoke poorly. I did not, however, want you wandering into this without advice.
Aw, that's nice. Man, so we actually tried to get in bed with Pan. But then I think that's when he told us that we were like gonna die. So like he was all like, yeah, let's go, but like I don't want a relationship, like let's just have fun. And we, not by my choice, I forget her name, but yeah, she was like, and then I think he said like, oh, you're still gonna die, like, oh, let's just have fun before you die. And we were like, die? What the heck? That offended us so bad that we decided not to. And I was like, oh. So I'm surprised he's here. Oh, Freddy came with Grace here. I wonder if we would have went and talked to Freddy first. That's so interesting that there's so many like options. What a mood killer, right? Unless Pan has a change of heart, maybe. Maybe, unless we have a change of heart. Pan was down. Pan was down. We were the ones who were like, no. Okay, what's your advice?
If you have any advice, Pan, I'm all ears.
Well, I assume you know how Medusa became what she is.
Not really, no.
It is a sad,
Grace,
sad
that's her name.
tale. Athena cursed her. A travesty of justice if there ever
Jack.
was one. Thing is, Athena no longer has the power to undo the curse.
Oh.
Or so she says. What I'm trying to say is that Medusa is not happy about it. Perhaps that's something you can use.
Sorry, I'm keeping an eye on Jack because he's up and just making sure he doesn't have to go outside.
Medusa is the one who turns people into stone just by looking at them,
There
right?
he goes. He's laying down.
People, yes.
Such a good boy.
Idols, not so much. Or that's my assumption. I'll admit to not knowing if she's ever turned her gaze on one of us.
I could go in there and boom, statue time?
Maybe. Probably not.
Would she be like out in public if she was just turning everybody to stone? Oh my god, I'm sorry. Jack is so cute. Look at him. Look at him. Jack. Are you shivering? Are you cold? Oh, I did forget to turn up the heat in here. Baby. Are you okay? Are you cold? Hold on, let me... You shivering? You shivering, babe? Here. I did forget to turn up the heat in here. You okay? Do you have to go potty? Jack. He can't hear me. He's deaf. He's mostly deaf, selective hearing. I turned up the heat. I forgot to this morning, Jack. So used to the extreme cold now that 40 degrees is like nothing. Yeah, you're a good boy.
Asterion said Medusa works for Athena. Is that right?
A truer description, I'd say, is that she's more Athena's servant. Poor thing can't survive on her own. So she's become whatever Athena needs. Oh. Spy master, enforcer, provider of garden statuary.
She sounds terrifying.
More importantly, Grace, she's clever. Medusa will be no simple target.
Medusa's clever and works for Athena, but what's she really like?
She doesn't exactly come to the parties, Grace. Medusa is an enigma to most of us. If idols hide in the shadows, she lurks in even darker places. She's an outsider, and she loathes us as much as she needs us.
Is she dangerous?
Let's just say we're all rather relieved she stays away.
Okay.
Okay, enough talking. Time to do this.
See, that's the spirit. Now there's simply the matter of getting you in before she's aware you're here.
And you'll help me with that?
As best I can, certainly. Though I do hope you have some kind of plan. A word of advice before we proceed.
No.
Once you find Medusa, make the number a knockout.
Use a distraction, find another entrance, confront the enforcer. Confront him. Just go right for it.
Oh, you're not just going to... Oh.
Hi there.
Viper's Nest is closed. Private party.
Was that some Jedi? Medusa will see me.
Yeah, the private party is what I'm here for. Why else?
All the guests have arrived. Do you have an invitation?
Does an idol need an invitation?
Oh no! Help me,
Go on
Pan.
in. I'll send word to the boss you've arrived.
Whoa. Using that status. Oh, that's Medusa. Is she gonna stone him? Her teeth.
Hello, who's that there? You've messed up my flow. Just get your drink, girl, and take your seat. It's the Mew.
Oh, he ran away.
Sacred bites. And then there's this sacred bite. So wrong,
Wait, does she turn people to stone by biting them?
so right. I'm really gonna hate myself.
Oh, the voice and the music together is so weird. Ah.
Right, let's play. I'm sure you can bite, okay. But you
Hey,
get
Jack.
a fight today. You're fighting Grace
Babe.
this time. And this time's mine. This time.
For
is mine.
centuries, these heroes got sent to me. Each one of them bent to me.
Not meant to be this time.
This time and all time.
This time's mine.
This time's mine. This time, just
This
like
time.
every time.
Is mine.
Now
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
What'd you say, Grace? You okay, Grace? Where's the game face this time? You are currently experiencing something I like to call the preparation. Any questions or comments? That's right, it's widely known that I can turn folks to stone. But oh, I won't this time. Cause this time I find dine that oozy musy bloods my wine this time.
Can I die here? Is there a bad end?
She's looking away. Hey,
You flipped that hood. Then out came the snakes. Oh, you're so good. Finally, some steaks. Oh, the ice thing.
The eyes thing.
What a difference an actual monster makes.
I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna let it pause here because Jack, I think, has to go outside and he's really distracting me and it's like making it hard to enjoy this. So I'm gonna take care of him real quick. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Give me just a couple minutes. That was a break time because Mr. Jack had to potty. That was a mid-song break because Jack was tapping his little potty toes. All the Medusa song's the best song yet. All right. All 3 puppies went out, so we should be just good to go. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, all 3 of them. Athena is going to be like the linchpin. Like this, that's going to be like she's going to be like, oh shit.
Athena made you like this.
she was mad at me. So
Well, why was she mad?
she said I'd been bad.
Had you been?
Oh.
No. Now looking.
Use your phone to reflect Medusa's gaze.
Listen, Medusa. She's ashamed of what you do, but she never stops using you. Hey, I'd be a monster too. I'd be like you, big time. And it's time to realize you're the victim of a
You're
crime.
lost, little girl. No more Hail Marys. We both know the victim's you, the monster's me.
You don't know, you don't know.
You know that you didn't.
Kill Calliope. So you know that it's true that I didn't do it.
No.
Yes, you do know, you know. Does that mean Athena knows?
No. Fine grace.
To tell her you know that I'm what? Bait? Another feature show. Come on, try. Let's go.
I know. Wow. It's an innovation. Marino, Ingrid, welcome. Oh my God, is Pan playing the flute?
Stop it, Pan. You have no right to interfere.
It's been a long time since I
Pan
played
Ex
these.
Machina.
Good to know the old pipes are still warm.
I know. Thank thank you so much for the wonderful innovation, the best kind of invasions. Thank you, Eno. How are you? Careful, Pan.
Careful there, Pan.
Don't get stoned, Pan.
This one comes with an appetite.
So I see. I am a man of rarefied taste myself, but this is rather next level.
Begone, pest! How dare you invade my sanctum?
Oh, I see.
Pest.
Would you prefer I resume playing?
She did not like his
You ready to
pamphlet.
talk?
Oh, fine. Fine. What exactly is it that you
Wow.
want, pretty muse?
The control that Pan has over her with that flute. Wow. Did you try to eat Calliope? Where you at the... Let's just go right to the question.
You can start by telling me whether you tried to eat Calliope like you just tried to eat me.
Blast! This is why I didn't tell Lady Athena. I knew it would come back to haunt me. I only followed pretty Calliope to the reliquary. I never spoke to her, never even caught up to her. I swear it.
But you were there that night.
Yes, I admit it. Ugh, Lady Athena will have my head. She'll mount it on a pike. Whatever you might think of me, I had no part in the Muse's death. I did not even know she'd been attacked until I saw her fleeing.
Ooh.
You followed Calliope to the
It's a
reliquary.
pretty muse.
Why were
pretty-
you shadowing her
pretty-
at all?
I
Pretty
am Lady
muse,
Athena's spy
pretty
master,
Calliope.
yes. Calliope has been trouble from time to time.
Trouble enough to keep an eye on,
When
I
she
keep
gets
watch
3
over
hours of
every
sleep,
idol
we
who
should
no
play
longer lives in
Jackbox.
Olympus, but especially Calliope. When I realized she was headed to the reliquary that eve, I followed. I had a duty to Athena.
Did you ever find out why Calliope went there?
I was never close enough to ask. When I drew near to the reliquary, that is when I saw the muse fleeing. She was frightened, bloodied, dying.
A
Oh,
tasty snack for you to hunt down.
I gave chase, yes, but to discover the truth. I knew Lady Athena would wish to know.
That does make sense from your perspective.
I didn't learn the truth until later. And then it was far too late.
Medusa has such an interesting like design, like her voice and her clothing and her character design is so cool.
Asterion said he caught up with you out in the fog. Is that right?
I thought he was the one who had attacked her. He is a great beast of a creature.
Is
that
he?
seems rather unlikely.
Huh.
The bull's as gentle as a lamb.
Yes, I had only realized my mistake once I caught up to him, and by then the muse was gone.
And you never found her afterwards?
I thought she might flee to her pretty home, or to the sharp and prickly Persephone.
Everything's
She
pretty.
did neither.
Yeah, she came to see me. You haven't told Athena any of this?
Now, don't make me charm it out of you, my dear.
Oh,
I told her Calliope was at the reliquary that night. I did not tell her I was also there.
Why not? Wouldn't Athena find out from Hecate anyway?
I was not thinking clearly. I panicked. Lady Athena barely tolerates my presence as it is. If she thought I was involved in any way, if she even suspected.
Pan being a snake charmer. I didn't think of it like that. Yeah.
Why should we believe you? You did just try to eat me, remember?
I am telling you the truth.
One
That's
that
a good question,
conveniently
Talis.
paints you as innocent.
You presented an opportunity. Oh, to taste the sweet, sweet blood of a hero once again. It's a problem. I've been working on it, I really have. I know it's hard to believe what a monster tells you, but it is true.
I'm working on it.
Okay, let's say we believe you. For the moment.
Whatever you do, pretty muse, I beg you. Do not tell Athena of my indiscretion. Show mercy. I know what I am horrifies you. It horrifies me as well. I cannot help what I am. I did not ask to be cursed like this.
Oh.
Indiscretion, huh? That's quite the word for it.
I cannot apologize for my hunger. I can only apologize that I am so very weak in the face of it.
Oh,
I'll
I like
think
that.
about it.
I am a lost and cursed thing. No idol. If Lady Athena should learn the truth,
The
I
squeaking
hope
floor
you
as she
find
walks
what
away.
you seek, pretty muse. And that we meet again someday. And sing a different song.
Man, her voice was amazing. Like heroes before you,
Oh, that
channeled your
was
inner Perseus
interesting.
and defeated the Gorgon.
Now I just have to decide if I believe her.
Hopefully not only her.
Is this the part where you tell me why you really came along?
Only to help, Grace. To ensure your endeavors here were successful.
Oh, wait, we still got...
Fine. I just can't stay mad at you, can I?
Nobody can. It's one of my best attributes.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Since you are safe and uneaten, I shall leave you to your
Uneaten.
adventures. Until we meet again, dear Grace.
Left on good terms with Pan. Hey, Twang! Yeah! Oh, man. I worked all night last night, literally, to get that edited. And then I had some trouble this morning with copyright, but it's up. It's up. As long as you can watch it, I'm happy. Hey, Nortmay! Oh, she voices Symmetra in Overwatch. Awesome. I probably do have bags under my eyes. I was up till 5 a.m. last night. I know. Thank you, Twang. That means a lot. That makes all the effort worth it to hear that y'all enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching it. Okay, let's talk to Freddy.
Hey, hey, so what's the news, Miss Muse?
Miss Muse.
Well, does a muse have a proper form of address? I just want to hear what exciting adventures
Mistress
you've been having.
Muse. Oh my
Everything
god,
else okay,
Freddy.
though?
Freddy's my
Do we know who the
fangirl.
killer is yet?
Not just yet, no.
Okay, well, let me know if there's anything I can do. If I have to hustle to become your high priestess, well, so be it.
Freddy.
You know what I find weird? That the idols have managed to remain completely secret all these years. Sure, they have magic and whatnot, but in all this time, nobody's found them out? Athena is that good?
Who says nobody has found them out? The way I see it,
Right.
it's like UFOs.
Okay, I have to hear this.
Okay, so you could have real evidence that UFOs exist and that governments have covered it up and people still wouldn't believe it. Why? Because they'd get laughed at if they admitted it. Imagine the headline, Greek gods exist and are living among us. What website would even run that?
Weird conspiracy ones. Yeah,
Right.
you're right.
Right.
Exactly how much do you know about the Greek gods, Freddy?
I know my
Hi,
Greek
Ruka.
mythology, but what I've read clearly
Good to
doesn't
see
line
you.
up with who they are today, or who they ever were, maybe.
Still might be useful. There's gotta be some truth to those stories, right?
Maybe? Who do you want to hear about?
To the internet.
What about Apollo?
Okay, so the prophecy stuff checks out. Apollo was god of the sun and light, but also kind of enlightenment in general. He's always talked about as this beautiful and cultured god involved with the arts and the muses, kind of a Renaissance man before the Renaissance.
He's clearly had a rough time since those days.
Well, he was also a giant horn dog, Grace. I can list off like a dozen men and women Apollo has had as lovers, and there's probably more.
Weren't they all like that, though?
I mean, Apollo's no Zeus. He never assaulted anyone as a swan. No, they aren't all like that. Our sun god had a reputation.
Tell me what you know about Persephone.
Honestly, she's the least like her stories. Usually, she's either a victim or just the wife of Hades, or both.
And that's it? She was kidnapped by Hades, end of story?
She had
Pretty
daggers.
much. Her mother was so angry she created winter. But otherwise, Persephone was just your average sweet and virginal fertility goddess.
You're right, that doesn't sound like her at all.
Must be hard to be defined by this one thing that happened to you thousands of years ago. I'd be pissed if everyone thought my story ended there.
Well, she is pretty pissed. That much is true. You said Pan was some kind of lust god, right?
Yeah, kind of. Pan's a god of the wild, and I guess that translates into a sort of lustfulness and earthiness, humping nymphs in the forest sort of thing.
And you don't like him.
Honestly, he's exactly what I'd expect him to be. All the stories say he's a lech and a beast. The Christians equated him with the devil. Weirdly, he's also the only god who's supposed to have died, though it's never really clear how or why. Anyhow, there's a great statue depicting
Freddy's such a
Pan having
nerd.
sex with a goat. Next time you see him, you gotta ask him about it.
Oh, I will. Can we? Will we be able to? I hope so. Oh my god. Swan Slayer, hey! Oh my god. Freddy is a super fangirl. She knows all the nerdy stuff.
Do you know anything about the Muses? Or Calliope in particular?
Yeah, for starters, there were supposed to be 9, though I guess there are some sources that said there were only 4, maybe 3. Each of the muses had her specialty. Did you know that Calliope is supposed to be the muse of epic poetry? She inspired the Odyssey.
Wow, I don't even like poetry.
Yeah, it was said her singing voice was unmatched. So they got that part right, at least.
Did she also lead the ancient Greeks in giant choreographed dance numbers?
No, but she once turned a bunch of snobby princesses into magpies, so there's that.
What about Athena? Is she really supposed to be the goddess of wisdom?
Sure, but mostly that's meant as tactical
Hey, Superman.
knowledge. Athena wasn't all sweetness and light. She was a warrior goddess. She was also the goddess of heroes. There are loads of stories where Athena helps guys like Odysseus or Jason or Perseus.
No female heroes back in those days?
Yeah, guess not. Women were the weaker sex, which maybe is why Athena was portrayed as being vindictive. She cursed Medusa, one of her own priestesses. She turned people into spiders, struck them blind, started the Trojan War. It's the whole thing.
Not being as wise as advertised is on brand for her, then. Just how many of these gods are there? From what I've heard, lots of idols live around here.
Well, there are tons of minor gods in Greek mythology, hundreds even, depending on how you define them. Oddly, there is never any mention of the word idols in relation to them. Maybe it's like how people worshipped idols?
I sort of assumed it was related to the eidolon.
Which is a Greek word, but I think it means ghost. An image of someone after they die.
Makes sense.
Me? I'm more amazed at all the big names missing. Not just Zeus and Hades, most of the Olympians seem to be gone. Makes you think about what's been lost, but also what might still be out there.
Really want to play Hades 2 now. Thank you so much, Swan Slayer. Hope you're having a great day.
You think there might be other gods out there?
Well, there are all those gods the idols say wandered off. We don't know they're dead for sure, right? They could be living it up in Australia. Who would know?
Australia.
Then there are all the other mythologies, hundreds of cultures, each with their own pantheon. So what's so special about the Greeks? That only their gods are real, right? All those other pantheons could be living in secrecy, just like the idols. And that means they're hidden from each other, too. Oh, they could be everywhere and no one would know.
It's like a whole other secret side to the world.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I hope I get to meet Ganesha one day. Or maybe Lakshmi?
Fangirl.
I wonder how much of those stories are true.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'm giving you the quick version. There are reams of textbooks out there covering all this, but even they rarely agree with each other.
Really? Nothing definitive?
Ancient Greece was 3,000 years ago, Grace. Not much
Yeah,
information
Grace.
survived all that time, if it was even valid to begin with.
What are Kaz and Brian up to? You didn't tell them anything, did you?
No, I told them you came home, that you're okay, but that you're having a moment. They send their love.
Should we tell them, do you think?
What for? They have their own problems. Plus, Brian can't keep a secret to save his life, and Kaz is officially homeless.
Is he still crashing on Brian's couch?
Grace, you do know that Brian doesn't have a couch, right? Just some giant beanbag things?
Then where is Kaz Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's cute. They'll tell us when they're ready.
Yeah, it's cute.
But right now, it's best just to not mix them up in this.
That's adorable. Oh my god. That was fantastic. They'll tell us when they're ready. And they were roommates.
I should really apologize about the band. This kind of puts a dent in your plans, doesn't it?
You're right, Grace. How dare you sabotage my dreams? I am so mad I could spit.
You know what I mean. Nobody could have seen this coming, sure, but it's
Hey,
always been
Zayla.
something with me.
Well, as I see it, there are two ways this goes down. One, neither of us gets back to the band. It was just a thing we did for a while before I founded a cult in your name. Or two, we get back to it and the band now has the Muse as its
Yeah.
lead singer.
Right?
Edge of Elysium becomes the coolest and most appropriate band name ever.
Ugh, I still really hate that name.
Look, Grace, you can't be the source of all the drama and name the band, okay? That's the rule.
Okay, that's enough questions for now.
You sure? I can talk all day. You know I can.
I'll check back with you soon, Freddie.
I trust
Time
you
for
can, Freddie.
More mystery solving.
I trust you can. Edge of Elysium is a good name. Do we want to talk to Sad Boy Apollo or let's talk to Persephone? Well, who do we want to talk to before we go to the party? I think we want to talk to Persephone before we go to the party. So let's talk to Apollo first. In his little beach house here. Oh, that's right. He's got a roommate too.
Grace,
Yeah, told you she'd be back.
What are
Oracle.
you doing here? When you stayed with Persephone, I thought that... Well, I didn't expect to see you again.
I'm not mad at you. She is.
I was hoping that didn't mean you were done trying to help me.
I'm not sure I've helped you. All I've done is dropped you in Persephone's lap.
What, and that's bad?
Yes. Well, no. I can never be objective when it comes to my family. They bring out the worst in me. It's why I avoid them whenever possible, and why I should have resisted getting dragged into all this.
Oh, Calliope. Calliope still needs you. I can say that.
Apollo, everything you sang about still applies, even if you got angry.
I know.
We all make mistakes. You pick yourself up, and you try again for Calliope's sake.
I'll think about it, Grace.
He pulled out the Calliope
promise.
card.
For now, you're in far better hands.
I'll hold you to that. Don't think I won't.
Sad boy Apollo. I wish there were little stars that said there was new stuff to read. Goddess of Black Magic. He's not a monster at all. He's an adorable, awkward, stuttering pile of man pudding. Who's hopelessly in love with I forget how they pronounced this, Hecate. And he's desperate for my help to hook them up. Oh my god. Hecate was lonely too, and in the end, she seemed happy to accept Asterian's hand once she was assured his love for her was real. And it is, I think. It really is. The two of them are ridiculously cute and weird together. Yes! Man pudding. Oh my god. Now this is interesting. According to Asterian, Medusa was at the reliquary the night Calliope died. And that's where Calliope was attacked. He says Medusa was out there in the mists and never got inside at all. But what was she doing there in the first place? The reliquary is not someplace you just wander past by accident. Asterian said Medusa's pretty scary. Maybe she's the culprit we're looking for. Medusa isn't an idol, I'm told. She's an immortal creature, one who used to be mortal until she was cursed by Athena unfairly, which appears to be a theme. She accompanies the idols to survive, working for Athena in return for their aid. The turning people to stone thing, totally real, except sometimes she just paralyzes them instead so she can eat them. Her curse includes an insatiable hunger, I guess, and I almost got to experience it firsthand. Yikes. Medusa more or less corroborated what Asterian told us. She followed Calliope to the reliquary the night she died. Why? Because Calliope is sometimes trouble, so Medusa keeps an eye on her for Athena. Medusa claims she didn't kill her, that Calliope fled the reliquary having already been stabbed. But by who? So she's still saying that she got stabbed while she was at the reliquary. So the question is, like, who else was there besides Hecate, Asterian, and Medusa? Assuming Medusa isn't lying through her pointy teeth, she could have chased after Calliope, eager to chow down on her, and Calliope just got away. Medusa seems more terrified of Athena blaming her than anything, though. Her fear feels real, so I think she's telling the truth. Her fear did feel weird. She knows the future, but will do whatever's supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen. I'll never wrap my head around that. She wasn't going to break her oath to Athena at any rate, so I had to go along with Asterian's crazy plan to woo her with a song. My power doesn't make anyone do anything they don't want to, so I guess deep down she wanted love as much as Asterian did. Her book tells her how their relationship turns out in the end, but it doesn't look like it matters much to her. Hope this means she can be happy for a little while. That's interesting. She knows the future, but will do whatever's supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen. That's so interesting. Hecate. I couldn't remember how they pronounced it. Hecate, that's right. Freddie and I went to the reliquary to do Pan's little favor, and wouldn't you know it, that's where Calliope was attacked. That's where she was before she went to my apartment. That's quite the coincidence. Huh. Went to see Medusa, and Pan showed up out of the blue. I think he feels badly about how we left things, which is a bit of a surprise. It is written. It is written, so it must be so. Asterian mentioned that Athena came to the reliquary the day after Calliope died, tipped off by Medusa, maybe, or by Hecate herself, I guess. Athena swore to Hecate to secrecy about everything, but not Asterian, as he happily pointed out. But does this mean she knows what happened to Calliope there? She snuck into the reliquary but didn't actually take anything. Medusa corroborated Asterian's story. She followed Calliope to the reliquary, saying she fled there having already been attacked. It's bizarre, though. What was she even doing there? If Medusa isn't lying to me, I'm left with Hecate and the Minotaur being the only other idols with access to the reliquary. Either that or there was a third person who somehow got in and out undetected. Oh. But they said there was nothing missing. Is this even possible for me to find out, or am I stuck? So interesting.
Back again so soon, Grace? You're practically a regular at the club.
Yeah, I just came from a chat with Medusa and...
A chat with Medusa? That's a surprise.
I know what you're thinking, but it was fine. Maybe I better explain what happened.
I knew it. We never should have brought that monster to the New World. Athena's a fool to think Medusa can be controlled. You're fortunate to have made it out in one piece. It could have gone very poorly for you.
You're right. I should have brought you to protect little old defenseless me.
Ah. If I'd gone, you would have found nothing more than an empty building, I assure you.
Because you're so big and scary.
I'm glad you appreciate my finer qualities.
At any rate, Medusa might be in the clear. Pan, however, is not.
Pan might admit something unintentionally, but he can be too clever. Let me give some thought to our next step. Now then, unless you've something else to ask.
Tell me about Hades.
I'd like to know a little more about the idols. I am one now, right?
What constitutes a little more in this instance?
Well, what are we? Where did we come from? If an idol is a soul that moves from person to person, it must have started somewhere, right?
Ah, the big question. To which the answer is, nobody knows. I remember the original Persephone only vaguely. Indeed, I'm not even certain she was the original. Was there something before her? How did she get her eidolon? I couldn't tell you. Evidently, we wrote little down in those early days, or were forbidden to, and our memories only stretch back so far. Anything beyond that simply isn't.
Now I'm just thinking of nothing but the bad pickup line. Hey, baby, want to get our eidolon? Something, something bad pickup line. Man pudding is amazing.
Psst. Isn't it strange to not know where you come from? For all you know, the idols could be aliens.
Aliens? Grace, you watch too many movies.
Gods are okay, but aliens are just wacky fiction.
Fine, yes. It is strange. No, our earliest days aren't the only blanks in our memories, however. We have many. And the last was the day Zeus called us all together to tell us Rome had fallen and we should prepare for war. But did that war occur? I couldn't tell you. The last thing I remember after Rome was 1,000 years later, in the 16th century. I was in a different body, feeling as if no time at all had passed. Athena calls that period the gap. And that's what it feels like. All of us experienced it, and not one of us knows why or how.
Whoa. Whoa.
The
What?
gap you mentioned. What was that like? Did you just wake up one day, or...
I wasn't asleep. I lived. I had lives. I passed on my eidolon. I may have known who I was and what I was, but perhaps I was completely unaware. All I know is that one day, Athena came to my nunnery, near Trieste, I think. The moment that I saw her, all the old memories came flooding back. My life during the gap was wiped away in an instant, and it never returned. If someone did that to us, they were powerful indeed.
That's intriguing.
What about Athena? I mean, she's the one who found you, right? She must have been aware.
Athena woke up on her own, or so she claims, and spent the next century rounding up those idols who remained. Zeus, however, was gone. What became of him, what happened in Rome, we've never pieced it together. It's troubling.
Are you willing to talk about Hades? If you don't want to, that's fine. I'm just...
Incredibly curious how I ended up murdering my husband.
that, yeah.
You know, one might think that my hatred of Hades began when he kidnapped me and forced me to be his bride. But honestly, that wasn't it. I hated my brothers and sisters for letting it happen, but Hades himself terrified me. He had a presence. I mean, one that forever made him the most important man in the room. And me? Oh, I was nothing in comparison. When Hades began doting on me, trying to earn my favor, I swooned that he might deign to think of me that way. For centuries, I actually thought I was in love. That the kidnapping was the best thing that ever happened to me. It's funny how our perspectives change.
Her voice acting is so good. The Middle Ages would be the gap for them. You was really mean to our son, though. They just kept fighting.
If you got along with Hades for so long, what changed?
I did. I grew up. I was a trophy for Hades. A conquest that he expected to remain meek and unchanging forever. He went out of his way to keep me small. I slowly realized that, he'd always been that way. Manipulation and arrogance behind the handsome sneer. We battled for centuries. I hated him, and I told him so, but he refused to part with me. He declared that I was his and would stay in the underworld where I belonged.
And that's when you killed him?
That's when I killed him, yes. The first time one idol had ever murdered another. Thank you very much.
Oh, God, her voice acting. Oh, the implication is that the gap happened because humanity stopped worshipping or caring about the Greek gods. Interesting.
I'm guessing the other idols weren't thrilled with you killing Hades.
Well, yeah, they didn't know what to do with me. And Athena was furious that the most powerful remaining idol had been lost. See, this was before the war and before all the new rules. The chorus had never once contemplated execution, but they certainly considered it then. In the end, they decided it was better to humiliate me. They ensured I did not benefit from Hades' murder, and stripped the throne I had wrested from his grasp.
Which you weren't happy about.
I asked them where they were all those years while I pleaded for help.
Right.
I was held captive, and what was I expected to do? What, lie down and take it forever because Hades was more useful to them alive? No. I stopped doing what was expected of me the day I slit his throat. May he rot in Tartarus with the Titans for all eternity.
Woo! Woo! On a completely different note. Yeah, good for her.
How did you go from ruling the underworld to opening a nightclub named after it?
I won it in a bet with Dionysus, god of merriment.
Okay, there has to be a story there.
Well, the story is that he was a fool, but a charming one with many patrons. They built him a nightclub as his personal playground. And it was a grand old time for Dionysus in the 1970s, I assure you, but he didn't know how to run a business. By the time disco was ready to die, so was his stupid club.
That's why you hire a
I
manager.
offered to make it profitable. If I succeeded,
There you
he
go.
would turn ownership over to me. He accepted because, frankly, all he wanted to do was drink anyhow. I was successful. The club became mine, and I kicked Dionysus out for never paying his tab.
Sucks to be him.
Dionysus ever sobers up, he might decide to be sore about it, but so far, that hasn't happened.
I want to meet Dionysus. Mary Elizabeth McGlynn is her voice actress. Oh my gosh, so good. Good old Uncle Dio.
Tell me more about Calliope. You and her were good friends, right?
We were.
Wing, yes.
And
Right.
if you had told me a decade ago that I would become close to one of the muses, I would have laughed in your face. I always considered them Apollo's creatures. Calliope, Clio, and Talia. Vapid, frivolous gods who handed off their eidolon to any artist who took their fancy. Every time I met one of them, they were someone else. Apollo called them the Sisters of Beauty, no matter their gender. Can you imagine that? That's such a stupid name.
I never thought of that. Do idols change gender a lot?
Well, we tend to seek out successors like ourselves, but it happens. With the muses, it happened frequently. Everywhere Apollo went, they surrounded him like a gaggle of ducklings, just like him to gather his own fans.
Gather his own fans. Wing opened a fortune cookie for me. A surprise trip is in store for you and a friend. What? The ditto. Ooh, I hope it's a good trip. What's your fortune cookie say?
If you disliked the muses so much, how did you end up becoming friends with Calliope?
She sought me out. She'd become more and more unhappy on Olympus, so she decided to leave just as I had, long before. Calliope asked for my help, and I laughed in her face. Go ask one of your sycophant mortals, I told her. I mean, surely one of them has some threadbare couch you can sleep on.
Wow.
Typically, she was undeterred. She didn't just want a place to stay. She said she wanted to learn how to be truly independent from an idol who had mastered it. What can I say? I mean, I am a sucker for a well-timed compliment. I took her in. Apollo was furious. He and Calliope were barely speaking, but he was certain she'd come crawling back to Olympus. Oh, it made taking her in all the sweeter.
Aw, that's a good one, Wing. Aw, thanks for sharing your fortune cookies with me.
After you took Calliope in, that's when you became friends?
I look forward to my trip.
No, not right away.
I don't like that it's a
I wasn't
surprise
looking
unless
for
it's
a
something
friend.
very, very good.
What I was looking for
I've
was
been
an
on
opening
surprise
act in
trips
the club.
before.
Calliope entertained here for years, and then eventually turned from
Cage
performing
orchestra.
to
There you
attracting
go.
new acts.
Yes.
She was in
Yes!
her element.
You're gonna announce a cage
She
orchestra.
and I, well, we warmed up to each other
Worldwide.
eventually.
Yes, there it is.
She was more capable than I expected, and I adored her furious rants.
Calliope didn't seem like the furious type when I met her. That's hard to picture.
Oh, then you didn't really meet her. She was an idealist, and nobody could ever quite live up to her standards for very long. Her brothers and sisters, least of all. The idols needed to change, she said. They were withering away in the shadows, diminished and unwilling to save their own skins. When I joined the chorus, she expected me to change everything, as if I could single-handedly override Athena. I was to be her champion, and together we would bring revolution to the idols. Well, I was yet another disappointment. She left the club, but I gave her a place to live. We were supposed to stay in touch, but you know how it went from there.
That's all I can think of for now. I'll see you around.
Oh, yes. That's where I'll be. Around.
Around. She has a lot of books behind her. I want a giant library like that. Aphrodite's party. We haven't like had the opportunity to talk to Aphrodite. Oh, sad boy's here. We haven't talked to Aphrodite yet.
Fancy party? Check. Bunch of strangers? Check. Grace totally not dressed for the occasion? Check. Now, if only I knew what I was supposed to be doing here.
Grace? You're here.
Yeah,
He's not dressed for
I'm
the occasion
invited,
either.
aren't
I'm just surprised you even knew it was happening.
I? Persephone said I should come to this. Whatever this is.
Persephone didn't tell you? Why am I not surprised?
Persephone said Aphrodite could help me and that she'd be grateful I came. That's it.
Persephone's not wrong, but that's not the entire story. You don't have any of Calliope's memories, right? No deja vu recollections that aren't your own?
No. Should I have?
Not right away. For a while, you won't remember anything. We call it the veil.
The veil.
In time, the veil
Ooh,
will start to
his
lift,
glasses are
slowly
rendered
at
really
first, but eventually you'll remember almost everything Calliope did.
Oh, wow.
Seems like the sort of thing you should tell a new idol.
New idols are usually chosen. You would know about this already, except...
Except Calliope was murdered.
Well, remember how old we all are. There are so many memories. So the veil lifts gradually to protect you. Eventually, it's like a flood. It becomes difficult to separate what's you and what's them, and all who came before them.
Better keep a journal.
You're saying I won't be me. I won't be Grace.
Ooh.
Will I start calling myself Calliope?
Maybe. Eventually, most of us do, but
Oh, wow.
most of us were chosen and prepared.
Right.
And I didn't choose this.
I understand. Take some time to let it sink in. If you like, we can talk about it later.
What does this have to do with the party?
Aphrodite hasn't been the same since we came to the New World. She has horrific memories of what she endured during the war. Passing on her eidolon is a way to forget, for a while. That's
wow.
what this party is for.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's why she kind of looks so sad. She was kind of like sad and like subdued in demeanor. She didn't talk a lot. So once she gets those horrific memories back, she passes on her eidolon or whatever, so that she has a period of forgetting about them. That is so fascinating. Wow. Remember when you check the content warning list, that's this is that one. Wow. Yeah, that's fascinating. That is really cool lore.
She doesn't have any other options? Therapy, pills, social media?
Social
You
media.
think she hasn't tried all those things? Perhaps you could ask her about them.
It just seems extreme, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is. It is, however, an extreme situation. For idols, our memories can become a prison. This is how Aphrodite chooses to escape.
This isn't the first time Aphrodite's done this. She's held this kind of gathering before, right?
This is her fourth, I think, perhaps fifth.
So every time the veil, whatever you call it, when it starts to lift,
Aphrodite's memories return, and eventually it is too much.
Wow.
We gather to pay our respects and to honor the past. Well, she still remembers it.
What horrific, like, war was she in that the rest of them weren't?
Wait. Persephone said Calliope always refused to come to these parties.
She refused on principle. Everything Calliope did was on principle. She believed Aphrodite was indulging her sadness, wallowing in it. She thought Aphrodite should try harder. It was a point of contention between them. Aphrodite will be grateful you're here. Trust me.
That's not for her to judge. This part of the lore made me go, wait, I wrote something super similar. I know, it makes me want to write about it. It makes me want to come up with some kind of story, because that is such a cool concept. Christiana, thank you for the hydrate. Everybody hydrate. If you don't got water, go get some water.
Do you support what Aphrodite is doing here?
It's not my choice to make, Grace.
Yeah, but you must have an opinion.
Eventually you will remember what we experienced during the war, and eventually you will remember that what Aphrodite experienced was far worse. If this is the mercy she requires...
Okay, so they all
will
were
not
in the
tell her
war.
she
It's
should
just
not
the
take it.
worst stuff happened to Aphrodite. Wow.
Okay, so what did Aphrodite want Calliope to do? What did she want me to do?
Well, knowing Aphrodite, she'll want you to make a production of it all. She's not here just yet. Until she arrives, I suggest...
This is so
mingling.
sad.
Mingling.
Yeah, mingling.
Oh,
Talk to
hey,
Eros.
he's here.
Or we can talk more if you like. Just try to relax, Grace.
Sure, yeah. Relax.
No, I'll go talk to Eros.
That's what this party is for, right?
I'm gonna talk to Eros. That is a buffet table. I just want the buffet table. Hey, cookies. Worst nightmare, right? Mingle at this party with people you
Grace.
don't know.
Hey, Eros. Nice to...
So, oh,
Oh. Okay.
okay.
Aphrodite will be so happy you're here.
Aww.
It means so much, you have no idea.
Aww.
Are you okay? You seem a bit...
He's always kind of sad boy, too.
Every time
What's with
she
all these
does
sad
this,
boys?
I don't know how to handle it. I almost want to run upstairs and demand she stop. Remind her that this never works.
I mean, it works for a bit.
Sorry,
She knows that.
shouldn't
That's her
unload
way
you.
to cope.
It's been a bad week.
Hey, I understand. This can't be easy.
She's the one who is suffering. I shouldn't be complaining. I just hate this. I'm there every day, going through it all with her. The nightmares, the panic attacks, the weeks when she just won't get out of bed. I'm there when she forgets the war's over, and I hold her until the screaming stops. Me. I do that.
That sounds awful.
Wow.
And now I'm arranging her gathering again, so she can die
Again.
again. And I'll watch it all again.
Wow. What happened? Do I want to know? Probably not.
Is it okay if I ask what happened? I don't mean to pry, but I'm new. I really don't know.
No.
No wonder
it's
he's
okay.
sad boy.
I wouldn't usually talk about it, but I know you don't mean any harm. What happened is that Brother Ares happened.
Aries.
He missed out on the first world-spanning war, you see, so he was damned if he'd miss out on the next one. He found some
Hello,
jackbooted
Casey.
mortals so full of themselves and their supremacy. And he told them about the idols. Then they came for us. Took us completely by surprise.
Some they killed, but Aphrodite, her they captured.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
Aphrodite was captured, but she's here now. So she must have escaped.
She didn't. Do you know the name Hephaestus?
No. Should I?
God of smiths. He could make anything, any tool or weapon. He was Aphrodite's husband, and he adored her. When he found out the mortals were torturing her, he went mad. He was determined to save her.
Wait, they tortured her?
Nothing extreme, I'm told. They were too frightened, but they were also determined to wring every last secret out of her. So, who knows how long that fear would have lasted. Thus, Hephaestus made a deal.
With the, jackbooted guys.
No, with their enemies. That's what saved her.
Then this deal is how Aphrodite survived.
It's how we all survived. It's what brought us to the new world. Hephaestus saved us all. We never saw him again. That was the deal. He would leave, make their precious weapons, and never look back. Aphrodite never even got to say goodbye.
Aww.
It's funny, because
And
Aphrodite
he's just
didn't
gone
even
forever.
like Hephaestus when they were married. She seemed to resent every minute they were together. But now
Seems to be a theme with these gods.
he's all she can think about.
Well, if he saved her, technically.
Is there no other way? Does Aphrodite really need to...
To die? I've asked that so many times. She's tried magic, drugs, psychotherapy, meditation, everything we could possibly think of. For a while, she'll deny anything's wrong. It all seems fine, and I start to hope. Maybe this time will be different. Then the nightmares begin, and the memories return. More with each passing day until
Party
I
time.
hate it, but I see her agony. I can't deny her this.
Oh God, he's got to like see it firsthand. I know, same Casey. I hear Hephaestus, and I just think of Horizon Zero Dawn. Same.
Maybe I just don't understand, but
Hey, Phil.
isn't this, like, suicide?
Some of the idols have committed suicide. They let themselves die without passing on their eidolon.
What happens?
What you'd expect. They're gone. Forever. Mother says she can't do that. She won't. Not until she sees Hephaestus again, I suspect. Not that what's happening here is anything casual. She still has to die for a while.
Who's she gonna pass on into? Someone at the party? Oh my God, yeah. Can you imagine having to go through losing your mom multiple times in a single lifetime? Oof. Yeah, that's what he's doing. Oh my God. And to just have to be like, not to watch her suffer and then lose her over and over and over. Not only losing her, but watching her suffer, being there when she's going through the worst of it. Oh, over and over. Oh my God. When is he gonna pass on his thing? That one. I like the...
What is my part in all of this? I'll help if I can.
Aphrodite loves drama. She always has. She wants us here to, well, to remember, to celebrate our history. She'll ask you to use your power as part of the celebration. Could you use it to inspire her?
I can't force anyone to do anything they don't want to, Eros.
That's not what I'm asking. I believe that deep down, she doesn't want to do this any longer. She must see it isn't working. She just needs the strength to try. Or I hope that's all she needs.
Aww.
It's not up to me, Eros. I can't make that decision for her.
I know. Neither can I. I was only hoping Aphrodite could make that decision for herself, if she was inspired.
I don't know.
It's a lot to ask. I'll understand if you can't. All I want, one way or another, is to get through tonight.
We can help you do that. Oh man, this is not the party I thought we were going to. Did he have something else to say?
I know all these people, Grace. For as long as I can remember, I've known them. Yet sometimes I feel like I don't know any of them at all. Or they me.
You don't enjoy these family gatherings, do you?
Are they family gatherings? Like the sort mortals have?
You call each other sister and brother and mother.
Well, yes, but...
And you've been together like 100 times longer than I lived with my family. All you're missing is a drunk uncle everyone has to apologize for.
That would be Pan. But yes, I feel very much out of place.
That would be Pan.
Why is that exactly? Wouldn't you feel more like you belonged after 1,000 years together?
I did tell us.
Is your assumption that all
I
those
did.
centuries bring great wisdom?
Don't they?
We get older. We have more to forget. We hold grudges longer, but wiser.
Huh.
No. Not so far.
Huh.
I spoke to Eros. He's pretty broken up over all this.
Oh, poor Eros. Each new successor, his hopes
Aw.
rise up once more.
Aww.
And then he watches the new Aphrodite crumble,
Aww.
piece by piece,
That's so
only to start
sad.
all over again. It's so different from the olden days. Once he was the eternal disaster, and Aphrodite kept constant vigil over him.
Maybe he feels like he owes her.
I think he's followed her into a dark void, and somewhere, deep down, believes he deserves no better.
I should get back out there.
She's like, all right, I'm out. So sad. Is that who she's gonna transfer into?
My family. Having you all here, gathered once again to see me off, it moves me. More than I can say.
Once
My
again.
loves, my darlings, my dearest friends. And you. Oh, my dear sweet thing. I dare not hope that you, with all your troubles, might sing me to my sleep.
Aw.
Yet here you are. Yet here she is. Huh.
Can we talk in private? This is her moment. Could have invited me. Oh man. I want to say, can we talk in private? But that seems so inappropriate right now.
It's lovely to meet you, Aphrodite. Properly, this time.
Ah, yes. Poor Calliope. Such a loss to us all. I shall miss her dearly. To have come so far, only... No, it doesn't bear thinking about. It's too much.
Is this Grace, my lady? The new muse?
Oh, what manners I have. Grace, Grace, meet the lovely mortal woman who shall tonight become the new me.
Hi, my name's Venus, and yes,
Venus.
it really is Venus. Nice to meet you, Grace.
I love her pink hair.
Hi. I have to admit, it'll be weird watching this happen the proper way.
Because I'm chosen?
Yeah, I wasn't. Not like this, anyhow.
Yeah, Lady Aphrodite told me. I'm so sorry, that sounds awful.
There will be so much time for you lovelies to speak later. Now, we must prepare for my departure.
She's like, I would like to get out of here. Oh, man. In case you forgot from last time, Grace hoped to come here for intel about your murder case. Right. It seems very inappropriate right now. If I do this one, can I still do this one? If I do the top one, will that still give me my green star option afterwards? So I want to do the green star. I don't want to lose that one. Aphrodite's like, this is about me. This is about her, like, suicide. That, like, this is very inappropriate to suddenly make it about me.
Are you sure we can't talk first? I really need your help, Aphrodite.
I know you do, my dear. I wish I could be there for you, but I'm afraid my time is up. But since you've shown such kindness in coming, I will ask
Eros
to make himself available to you afterwards. There's nothing I
Give
know
Eros
that he
more
does
hugs.
not. He is my son, my truest friend, my longest love.
Won't he be a little distracted?
Eros has been through this before, Grace. He knows what must be done.
Oh, like it's nothing. He's been through this before.
I just want to say, I'm really sorry. Yes.
A babe in our dreary world, and yet already possessed of such earnest purpose.
She takes this task seriously, Aphrodite.
Apollo! Oh, you've come after all.
You look remarkably well, cousin.
I've had a great deal of time to prepare. I assure you that would not be the case. As for you, Grace, have you gathered the true purpose of tonight's gathering?
Any excuse for a party? I'm glitching, wigging out.
To ease your suffering? To forget about what happened?
An escape into the soothing blackness. To swim in Lethean waters, at least for a time.
Does it help?
Lethean.
I don't know. Each Aphrodite before me begged for mercy. This is all I can do for all of us.
For all of
Even
us.
so, tonight is not about the pain. It is about honoring the memory of what was while that memory still persists. Go, enjoy the gathering, Grace. Tell me when you're ready to begin.
I'm gonna get this party started. Uh-oh. Oh, Leth is the river of forgetfulness in the Greek underworld. Ah. Hey, Dothak. Yeah, she's so cute. Man, and this Venus that she's gonna transfer into, having been prepared, how crazy that she knows that the same thing is gonna happen to her. She was very like smiley and happy and optimistic and like ready to do this despite that. Wow. Let's talk to Venus. Oh yeah.
I should apologize, Grace. Saying that I was chosen like I'm somehow more special.
I really didn't mean it that way. I hope you can... I'm sorry.
Oh, I
It
didn't
looks
take
like
it that
I'll
way.
be doing that a lot. Lady Aphrodite said I'm ready, but I don't know.
Being a god isn't something you can really be ready for.
I mean, you are not gods, though. Are you? Not really.
You don't think so?
To me, you all just seem like people. Special people, sure, but flawed and lost, like the rest of us. If I can ask, what does it feel like after it happens? Do you feel different?
I'm not sure. It happened so fast, I didn't know what to think. Calliope died, and then all this happened.
You didn't remember anything? About her? Who she was? She was just gone?
Yeah. Isn't that the point of all this?
I just wanted to be sure. Sometimes it
Pull up her
doesn't seem
top.
like it could be real.
Your name's really Venus.
Are you really okay with all
The
this?
music is so
You
sad.
know
It's
what's
so
gonna happen,
appropriate.
right?
I saw a lot of people in crisis at the shelter. I knew something was wrong with Lady Aphrodite. She's in so much pain, Grace. She won't let you see how much.
Aww.
Errol's called me one night.
Did you meet her at a
desperate.
shelter?
She wouldn't stop screaming. She didn't know where she was. She's a good person, Grace. A good soul. She deserves mercy.
Aww.
How do you know Aphrodite exactly?
So I was working at this homeless shelter, right? A couple of years ago, and she came in
Even
with
the
one
wheels
the
of her
older
wheelchair are
residents.
pink. I love
And
it.
she was there in this like amazing dress, and she's sitting with this guy and really listening to him, like they were old friends or something. I just thought, what is someone like her doing in a place like this? So I just went over and introduced myself.
That's it? Just like that.
Yeah. She came back to the shelter a few times, but by then, I guess she'd taken an interest in me instead.
Your name's really Venus, huh?
Everybody asks me that. Even the other idols. Maybe that's why Lady Aphrodite noticed me in the first place. She says it was fated to be. I say it's because my mama was a diehard hippie.
All I can think of, I'm your Venus, I'm your fire.
I get that you want to help Aphrodite, but do you really want to be her? To be an idol?
At first I thought, wow, this is too good to be true. Who wouldn't want to be a god? Later I realized they're not all powerful. They don't know everything. They're lost. Do I want to be that?
Desire.
Will I be that when the memories return?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So why go through with it?
Because Lady Aphrodite needs me.
Aww.
Maybe, just maybe, if I'm added into the mix of all the people she's been, maybe things will be different.
Aww. Aww. I love her.
Back again.
Yeah, the game gave me the option to talk to you.
I don't think I'll have a chance to talk to Aphrodite. Not before, you know.
Not surprising. Surely Persephone must have realized that.
How? She's never been to one of these things. Anyway, I'm not sure what I'd do now.
You have two choices, Grace. Either you do as she asks and sing her to her rest,
At which point Venus won't have Aphrodite's memories yet.
or you somehow convince her to remain with us and hope she's grateful.
And doesn't regret it. Or get angry at me for
I'm
ruining our party.
I'm not
Do what you
interrupting
feel is right.
this. It's not my
It's a
place.
risk either way.
Have you spoken with Venus? She seems really...
Nice, earnest, a genuinely good person.
Yeah, I suppose.
It's not an accident. Ever since the war, Aphrodite has sought out the kindest, the most innocent souls to be her successors. She chooses them because she believes that over time, it might make her a better person. A more worthy person.
Wouldn't it be better if she chose people who were, I don't know, more resilient?
I suppose that depends on your definition of strength, Grace.
I should get back out there.
Aphrodite corrupting these innocents. Oh, man. Oh, man. It does kind of make her like a Grim Reaper. But, like... Oh, I thought you meant, Aphrodite. Right. The singing just, like, amplifies what's already inside them. And we, like, guide it through the song, but, like, it's not going to be anything that wasn't already there. Right. Okay.
I have tried so hard, fought for so long, but in the end, I must bid you all farewell once again. But before I go,
Arrows.
I would like us all to remember the sacrifices that brought us here, to this strange new world. This time, it is with the help of our lovely muse that we shall be guided.
Oh, man.
We
It's a lot
let
of
their
pressure.
lies. We let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong.
Tell us you were ready.
Since the beginning we were hidden. We held court from up above. 'Twas the golden age of reason, and I the queen of love. But a plague of hate was spreading, and there were vultures standing by. Before we fell to our knees begging, we fell from the sky. We let them rise, we let it happen. We waited far too long. We thought we shouldn't intervene. We were wrong. We were wrong.
Do we want to focus on their betrayal? Do we wait? I want to hear more of the song.
Our so-called brother Ares sold his soul forevermore. He so loved the military, he became their dog of war. He denounced his loving family, and with mortal guns and greed, on a plate gladly delivered everything that war dogs need. He betrayed us and we let him, and with their mortal souls long gone, we thought we were untouchable. We were wrong, we were wrong. Oh, the power of the idols pounds within your chest. But for now I am in mourning for a love gone unexpressed. He was harder than the chisel. I was a horrid block of ice. A winter's chill that stayed until he made his sacrifice.
a secret weapon, so my captors let me go. He gave up his freedom, leaving just a memory. And this love I'll never know is what he gave to me.
Aww. She never got the chance to even love him back. Yeah, the visuals with those stained glass windows are
What I'm hearing today.
so beautiful.
If your story stops there, I've nothing to say. I can't imagine. I feel like a child who grew up too fast. The goddess of love can't get past the past. What good is a flame when everything's ash?
Oh, the music, the instruments are so beautiful.
There's no excuse, but mortals can tell.
You know.
There's no sweet release, it's ongoing.
You know. You know.
Everyone's here to bid me farewell. Can you imagine?
I can imagine.
This really happened. I can't forgive, the river's too deep. Its reflection won't lie, so just let me sleep. I can't let go of what could have been.
Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
This is haunting.
Lost in a moment.
Mother, I've stood by your side, now I no longer see the purpose of love when it tears at the center of me. My arrows are rusty, forget the bow, and I won't be begging you not to go. But when you're away, you leave us a broken home. And you leave me alone, lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song.
Lost in a moment.
I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but this is... You deserve mercy, but that's me telling you. I can't tell you what to do. No, it's your choice. It's not my choice.
If anyone would know about the mysteries of love, you would know. Only you can decide. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment, lost in a song. Lost in a moment. Lost in a moment.
Lost in a moment.
She just wants release. She wants relief. She doesn't want to hurt anymore. That was her choice. Was to pass on.
Are you...
I'm fine. I'm still myself. I thought there'd be something more, that I feel her presence, but she's just gone.
She'll be back. But she'll also be you. She'll be different.
Aww.
I'll try to be ready. I promise.
I wonder if one of the reasons she chooses very kind-hearted people is because that's the person that Eros is going to take care of. And so she wants somebody kind-hearted for him. Wow, that was a really beautiful song. That was gorgeous. Wow. I was promised help. How inappropriate. Does drinking my own tears count as hydration? Dude, did nobody sleep well last night? Everybody's like, I didn't sleep well last night. Oh my god. Oh man. That's my headcanon of why she chooses kind-hearted people.
You'll get through this, both of you. Healing takes time.
Not if you keep resetting the clock.
Aww.
Grace is right. I'm not Lady Aphrodite. But eventually, she and I will be one. Together, we will get through this.
I hope you're right. Before we go, Aphrodite told me you wanted her help to learn about Calliope's death. I'm not my mother, but maybe there's something I can tell you. Do you have any suspects yet?
I have a theory. I can't say I have a theory. Man, I loved I think that song was my favorite, but I loved Medusa's song as well. That one. Well, all the songs today. And I liked the love song between Hecate and Asterion. That was those three are my favorite so far. I thought Medusa or someone at the reliquary. I'm gonna be more specific, even though Medusa said she didn't do it.
Originally, I thought Medusa.
Yeah, now I'm not sure.
I'm not so sure.
Medusa certainly would have been highest on Mother's list. She never liked her.
Medusa was at the reliquary, but she says she never went inside, and I believe her. I think.
Calliope came to see Aphrodite and I that night. She was agitated, frightened even, but she wouldn't explain why. She said she had a plan. That must have been the reliquary.
But for what purpose?
A plan? A plan for what? What could she find at the reliquary that would help her?
Maybe she wanted a weapon. Something to defend herself with. If only we'd known she was going to the reliquary. How on earth did she even get in?
She used the key, the one Pan gave her. When Calliope arrived, she dropped it. Then she laughed and said she'd better not lose it because Pan won't give me another key to the reliquary. I didn't know it was important.
Well, there's your help, Grace. I certainly don't know more than that.
Pan gave her a key to
Come
the
now.
reliquary?
Venus, it's been a long night. I'll get you home.
Oh,
Thank you
Venus
for
doesn't get to
everything,
stay there?
Grace. Truly. It was a wonderful song.
Thank you. It was a wonderful song. Very emotional. Is it inappropriate to start digging into the buffet table?
Did they have anything helpful?
You lost in a song. You honored Aphrodite's decision and helped her find peace. Aww. Right. Once she starts getting more memories back. Actually, it's probably like once she starts needing help, then she'll move in there and Eros can take care of her. Oh, man. Oh, check out the other versions when you have time. Yeah, yeah. I love that song, man. Oh, I hope you feel better, Wing. Oh, there's a lot of people in the VA and TTRPG space that lent their voices to this project. That's so cool. You helped fund this? Nice. Did he say Pan?
I gave him every opportunity to tell me. He said he didn't know what happened to Calliope.
Just because he gave her the key doesn't necessarily make that a lie.
Doesn't it? I thought you suspected him. What side are you on?
I'm not on any side. I'm just trying to be objective. Are you all right, Grace? You seem troubled.
Ask Oracle to hack into Aphrodite's computer. Or not Aphrodite, Athena. Calliope's memories. Man, yeah, is there some way we can jog those to come back really quick? Then I'll know exactly what happened.
What you said earlier about Calliope's memories coming back.
That wasn't how I wanted you to find out. I'm sorry. If I might suggest, speak with Persephone about it when you get a chance. It might be good for you.
You think she could help? Persephone?
Persephone and I have our problems, but I can't deny she is insightful. She'll surprise you.
I might do that. Thanks.
So, I have a question. I know you're angry with Pan, but I also noticed something in how you speak of him. Am I correct in believing there's something there?
I tried to fuck him, yeah.
Maybe? Yes? I don't know. It's confusing. And I think he likes that.
It's none of my business, but no matter what I've said of Pan, his feelings run deep.
Oh.
Don't underestimate him.
I mean, I did.
But also don't write him off. Not yet, anyhow. Give my regards to Persephone when you see her.
Apollo. Always so dramatic. Well done, by the way. And cheers to you, Aphrodite. You shall be missed. For a few years, at least.
For a few years. Mm-hmm.
Why didn't you tell me what it was really all about?
The party? Or the veil lifting, and Calliope's memories eventually returning?
Yeah, either.
That. All
It's
that.
not something you can prepare for. I thought this was the best way. I remember the last time I passed on my Eidolon. 1952. I was married to, well, I'd say you'd call him a gangster. More of a thug. A mean, vicious little thug. Persephone saved
You
me
like
from
the
him.
bad boys.
Tore his head clean off. But not before he fired a shotgun into her chest. My chest? Whatever.
Wow.
Oh, well, that sounds awful.
It was. though not as awful as being his wife. We all have our sordid history, our personal horrors, building up like sediment around our souls. You can't let it bury you, Grace. You are the only one who can keep your head afloat.
Oh, big choice? Big choice? Big choice? Is this big flirt? What's big flirt?
You're incredible. You know that?
There's no need to be facetious, Grace.
No, really.
And what of Pan? Is he also incredible?
Why ask me that?
Why would you ask me that?
You are not as difficult to read as you believe, Grace.
Everyone can read my lust for the for the goat man on my face. He's fine. I like you more. Oh no, the game is forcing me to make the decision between the two. Pan already said he wasn't gonna boink me, so
What he
no goat man
is
for me.
incredibly frustrating and
Ooh, jealousy.
nothing at all like you.
I am incredible. It's true. It's good that you recognize this.
It's good that you recognize
Okay,
this.
I take it back.
Oh, you can't take it back, Grace. I would have thought you'd learned that by now.
Oh.
After centuries of cruel injustice, everybody working against me, every idol but for one, violent with apathy. We couldn't reach a resolution, but you and I.
Is this an organ?
I'm queen of the underworld, and you
I thought you weren't queen of the underworld anymore.
Something seems familiar about you. Have we met some lifetime ago? Gods like me don't have too much to hope for. The rules been fixed throughout the ages, so I have forged a daring path. I would like to make some changes. You see, we can win a revolution, you and I, you and I. I'm queen of the underworld.
We're both fighters.
And you, Grace, you are a queen. You're old,
So many versions of these songs. Whenever the recorder kicks in the music that represents Calliope.
Track. It sounds like they heard you, defied or usurped you. It's time that you kick 'em right back. You've got one big mouth on you, don't you? Yet it's me who's closing in. Think I like that mouth on you, won't you? You've overstayed your welcome.
What?
Time to go home.
What?
Get out of here, Grace.
Wait. Wait. Deny. Wait. Wait, what just happened? What just happened? Go back. What just happened? I told her to fight and she didn't like that. What just happened? She's just angsty. God, blocked by trauma. Wait. Finally, I know the whole story about Hades and how Persephone murdered him. You know what? Sounds like he got exactly what he deserved. I went to see Persephone after Aphrodite's party, and in the middle of reminiscing to me about the last time she passed on her eidolon to a gangster's wife, Persephone and I had a moment? At least I thought we did, but then she went cold again, and now I'm left wondering if I imagined it. I crossed some line with her, but which one? It's so weird. Okay, I think I need to use the mouse. Can I scroll? Yeah, okay, the mouse lets me scroll faster. So get this, Pan gave Calliope the key to the reliquary. He gave it to her that night. He knew she'd gone to the reliquary even when he asked me to do his favor, but didn't mention it at all. He's way more involved in all of this than he ever let on. After Aphrodite's party, Apollo said something odd about Pan. He seemed to almost approve of the two of us. If that is, there's something to actually approve of. I honestly can't tell. Oh man, this is gonna be sad. I met Eros later on at Aphrodite's party, and suddenly his dark mood makes sense. It seems that he's Aphrodite's constant caretaker. He's watched her throw these parties and die over and over, and I think he's finally reached his limit. He can't stand Aphrodite's pain, but I think he doesn't know what to do about it. He's hoping I can convince her to stop, which is a tall order for sure, and I don't know that it would actually make her better. Apollo said that he thinks Eros has stayed with Aphrodite all this time because he feels like he owes her. Once upon a time, it was Eros who was the eternal disaster, Apollo's words, and she was the caregiver, so now he must return the favor no matter how it hurts his soul. I think Apollo's probably right. Oof. In the end, I couldn't do what Eros asked. I couldn't take that choice away from Aphrodite. I think he understood, and I guess he didn't have an alternative to offer anyhow, but it was still hard to watch him sinking in on himself when it was all over. I hope he and Venus will be all right. Aww. I met the person who's supposed to become the new Aphrodite. Her name's Venus, and she seems really sweet. Aphrodite has been preparing her for months, must be nice, and she seems to know what she's getting into, but does that make it okay? In the end, I let Aphrodite go through with the ritual. She deserved mercy, just like Apollo and Venus said. So now Venus is her, just without her memories, at least for a while, as they both intended. I hope I did the right thing. It's not, you did the right thing by letting her choose. It was not your choice. Persephone told me a little about how Calliope came to her at the underworld, how at first Calliope was just a singing act, but eventually they warmed up to each other, until Calliope's lofty expectations became too much. I'm willing to bet Persephone had just as much to do with their parting ways, but it sounds like for a while they were indeed close. This is interesting. Calliope visited Aphrodite and Eros the night she died. Calliope was scared of something but wouldn't tell them what it was. Now they regret not pressing her about it more, but it still tells me one thing. Calliope knew something was going to happen to her. Maybe she already knew when she met me at the gymnasium. Maybe she thought she might die, and that's why she seemed so sad, resigned. So whatever happened that night, it didn't come as a surprise. Ooh, theory. I think that when she broke into the reliquary, she looked in Hecate's book of, like, fate and what's going to happen. And so because it says Calliope knew something was going to happen to her. What if she read Hecate's book and saw that she was going to die? And that's, it doesn't tell me who killed her, but, that she knew, and that's why she went to the reliquary. Maybe, I don't know, to see if she went to the reliquary to see in the book if she would die. Because it's interesting to say she broke in but didn't take anything. Well, maybe she did. Maybe she read the book and took the knowledge of whether or not she was going to die. Or maybe, like, whether she was supposed to die for maybe something else to happen. Maybe she killed herself. Cause it was fated. Cause you read Hecate's thing and it's like, you know, whatever is supposed to happen, she's gonna do what's supposed to happen because it's supposed to happen. Maybe Calliope believed in the same thing and saw that she was supposed to die. But then, why would she have to see that? Maybe she tried to change fate? Because with singing our songs, we can kind of guide things a certain direction with the songs. We can't make anyone do what they don't want to do. And we draw out things that are already there. Sounds like Namine. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. Eros told me all about what Aphrodite went through during the war, how she was kidnapped by the enemy, how she was freed by her husband, Hephaestus, who she never even got to thank or say goodbye to. She's riddled with so much guilt and trauma, and she can't escape any of it. As soon as her memories return, she's in constant agony, even if she hides it pretty well. Even so, he doesn't think what she's doing is the right answer to her problems. It certainly hasn't helped so far. Everything is Kingdom Hearts. As a reminder, Hecate told you how Calliope's death was fated in her book, but it's not how she died. Hecate told us Calliope's death was fated. But the book didn't tell us how she died, or... Eternal disaster, that'll be your new username. No. Sora. Sounds like therapy, but Namine works too. In her book, Calliope was meant... Calliope was meant to die in a car crash in a few months. Oh, I totally forgot about that. So Hecate told us that Calliope, she was like, but that doesn't make sense because, like, it is written that she will die in a car crash, and so that is what's going to happen, but then that didn't happen, so, like, Calliope changed her fate? Oh, I forgot about that. There was a lot going on. I was too invested in her and Asterion. I'm still starting to wonder if Calliope did it herself because for some reason she wanted to change fate. Maybe she wanted to see if she could for some reason. Because they always said she was a troublemaker. Everyone always says she's kind of a troublemaker, or at least Athena thought she was a troublemaker. Having Medusa watching her and stuff. Maybe she wanted to prove that fate could be changed. Interesting. I don't know if I can do as Eros asks. I don't know if it's even possible to persuade Aphrodite to what? Suck it up? To muscle through it? I guess I'll have to figure it out soon. Apollo said something about Aphrodite which has struck me. He says she chooses successors who are kind, generous people because she thinks that in time that will make her a better person. It's not about her being a better person. She didn't do anything wrong. It's about, and I think Grace even said it, why didn't she choose like strong-willed people? Once the song was over, I couldn't do it. I couldn't take away the rest Aphrodite wanted so badly. She's gone now, and her eidolon has passed on to Venus. I don't think she was behind what happened to Calliope, but if she was, then I guess her secrets went with her, and that will have to be okay. I'll figure it out. This is oh my gosh. The book cannot be wrong! It was wrong, though. This didn't happen in the book, right? Hecate's one of those, but this wasn't in the book. Yes. All right, give me 5 minutes. I have to stretch my back. It's a little sore. So everybody take a break, get up and stretch, get some water, get some food, whatever you gotta do to keep yourselves happy and healthy. This game is so cool. I'll be right back. All right, so time to head back home. Okay, we just talked to Persephone. We sang a song together. I told her I wasn't interested in Pan. And she like almost kissed me. She teased me. Kissed me. Tease, kiss. She almost kissed me. She like grabbed my chin and like almost kissed me and then was like, it's time for you to go. Okay. Sad spa music. Why is my controller not working? Why is my controller not working? Oh, wait, what? Oh, there you go.
Oh,
it's Alice.
Hi, Grace. I can just call
I
you Grace,
wouldn't
right?
know.
That's my
Oh,
name.
hi, Hermes.
Where's Freddy?
She went out to get snacks. We were gonna watch TV while we waited, but, well, here you are.
Did someone die? This is weird. You know, Freddy, were you looking for me?
What, you and Freddy are friends now? When did this happen?
When I came looking for you. Friday has this movie that I've never seen. It's super cool, right?
Uh-huh.
Oh, would you rather not share your mortal friends?
Share your mortal friends?
I guess Athena wants to
Freddy,
talk.
you have other friends?
I can zip us over to Olympus anytime.
Oh, Athena
if
wants
you're
to
free.
talk. Uh-oh.
Do I have a choice about seeing Athena? I'm not in the habit of being at anyone's beck and call.
I mean, I guess you could say no, but I wouldn't. If Athena wants something, she's gonna get it eventually. She had that look in her eyes, like she really wants to talk to you.
How many days
she
has
could
it been?
always
Is
come
this still
here.
like day
Everyone
2?
else does.
Athena entered the mortal world? And now she doesn't do that ever. Can you imagine?
How does Athena manage never entering the mortal world?
She has her
She
servants
doesn't
bring her
have to, I
everything she
guess.
needs.
Everyone brings her everything she needs.
There you go.
And that creepy owl of hers? Apollo says it's her eyes out in the world. It's everywhere. Watching.
Always
So what, she just never leaves the building?
She'll go to the reliquary and places like that. Just never where mortals are. She wears a toga and calls cars iron horses.
So this is what you do? Ferry people around?
I'm the god of messengers, baby. Travelers, doorways, any kind of transition, really. The old Hermes said that the transition part made even more sense for me, which, you know, extra cool, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's true.
I can connect any two doorways anywhere, just like that. So it's super easy to take people wherever. I don't mind.
Connect 2 doorways anywhere. That's convenient.
You say it's easy, but do you like doing all these errands?
Huh. Yeah, I never thought about it. It's nice to have a purpose. Athena is
Aw.
super sweet, and she has a big, important job. Why wouldn't I want to help her out?
You can't be this nice. Are you for real?
Oh, well, the old Hermes used to say that a willingness to serve is more important than a willingness to be served.
Willingness to serve is more important than willingness to be served. Well, yeah.
You mentioned the old Hermes a lot. You knew him?
Yeah, I was homeless for a while. It wasn't a great time, and he took me in. Everyone's on the same journey, he used to say. Only the roads are different. And then he went on his journey. Man, I still miss him every
Aw.
day.
Aw.
Isn't he still inside you? Aren't you kind of the same person now?
Not yet. It's only been a year. Maybe I'll feel him again one day. That'd be nice.
Aw. Aw. I know weird is on the fridge. I noticed that too. Which I think one of our dialogue options was like, this is weird, so that's funny. Sue me. sus? Ooh, wait, are you sus of Hermes? I mean, can't rule him out.
I suppose there's no point in putting it off. Do your thing. Take me to Olympus.
Okay. Oh, when you see Freddy,
Oh, you're right,
tell
it is
her
day
I'm
5.
sorry I couldn't stick around for the movie. And mind if I say something?
Sure.
You've changed. I mean, from the person I met when I first came here. When, you know, you got it together really quick.
I kind of had to.
Thanks, I guess.
All right, gonna go see Athena. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we get to choose again? Oh, we already chose Charming, and so now we can't choose Charming. Oh. Or do we choose a second one? Either way. Maybe we choose... Oh, it says you've changed. So maybe we get... I don't like the rage option.
There you are, Grace.
I will be
Do have
clever.
a seat.
I prefer to stand, thanks.
As
Why
you
keep the
like.
char... Oh, that would make sense
You've
that I
certainly
keep
been
the
busy,
Charming.
haven't you?
I don't just suddenly
Everywhere
not
I
become
turn,
Charming.
There you are, including the reliquary.
Oh.
I'm uncertain how you got access, but even you must have realized it's off limits, particularly for your mortal friend.
She's speaking through her teeth right now. Oh, you see that you visited the reliquary.
Sorry to be annoying.
I'm not annoyed, my dear. I'm concerned what new trouble you'll find in attempting to escape your old trouble.
Oh well, I'll try to die more quietly next time.
You think our judgment was rash? It was. In truth, I worried that giving you time, letting us all get to know you, would make it harder in the end. I am sorry, Grace.
It is written.
You may not believe it, but I care deeply. I care about what happens to you and to all the idols.
Okay, I believe you.
Do you really? Let's explore where all that caring has gotten them, shall we? You're holding on with a grip so tight, your knuckles are turning white. But that's not enough, is it? Every idol I've met is either lost or broken, or both. They're all slipping through your fingers. If you actually cared about them, you'd do something about it instead of sitting up here worrying about your precious rules.
Zeus was the first to leave, king of the gods, and we don't even know what became of him. Vanished into the ether. Poseidon was next, walked out into the seas, never to be heard from again. Ares
Went to live with the
betrayed
fishies.
us. Hephaestus saved us. Hades was murdered, and by one of our own. The list goes on.
So you add to it. I show up and you kill me off because you can't be too careful.
We are dying, Grace. I don't mean diminishing or drifting apart. I mean our immortality is disappearing. Very soon now, the idols will be no more. We are a legacy that spans millennia, dating back to the very dawn of humankind. So yes, I care. I will do anything and everything in my power to avoid that fate, even if it appears unfair.
Ooh.
You know, it's too bad. I've been an idol for 5 minutes, and I've been out there solving problems you've all wrestled with for how long now? I could have helped you, Athena. I could have helped all of you. But you don't see that, do you? You're so busy holding on to what you have. You can't see what you're throwing away.
Hey, PA, thank you so much.
Big 57. Hi, smiley face.
The big
I know
57.
we put
How
a
you
great
doing?
deal on your shoulders,
Thank you,
Grace.
Paul.
I do.
It's been a while.
All I called
What's
you
up?
here to ask is that you please not make my job more difficult than it already is. If you have any other questions or concerns, now's the time to bring them up.
Oh, I have questions and concerns.
All right, let's talk about Medusa.
Met her, have you?
She tried to eat me. Oh, this game's so good. Hey, Sailor Magic Star.
I just have to know why. Of all the people you could have working for you, why her?
We could have left her behind. I elected to bring her because, in the end, she is my responsibility. But Medusa didn't want charity. She volunteered to work in my service. It's trying at times. Now, if there isn't anything else...
Oh, there's so much else.
What do you know of Pan?
Pan? That's not a name I expected to hear. Been sniffing around you, has he?
I have some suspicions, and I'm curious to hear your thoughts.
Pan lurks at the edges because he likes it there, seeking out whatever profit he thinks he can get away with. Avoid him, dear, or he'll stick to you like gum to the bottom of your shoe.
I tried to get him to stick to me, and then I had a hissy fit. Whoa, is Pan a killer?
Okay, so you don't like Pan much. I get that. But do you think he could kill someone?
We've all killed, my dear. I was once a warrior queen, feared by mortals and gods alike.
Another idol, I mean.
Is that where your investigation has led you? To Pan?
Sort of, but I feel like I'm missing something important. Maybe the goddess of wisdom could help me out?
It would be helpful to know what Calliope was doing at the reliquary, but she's not available to ask. Not until you regain her memories, at least.
Why not put off the trial until then? Seems like a good way to solve all this. Yeah?
And trust what you decide to share? I think not.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Who has access to the reliquary? Is it anyone with a key? Or...
It's similar to the Wolf
Does it
Among
matter?
Us. Yeah,
You
similar
gained
in
access,
style.
so clearly it is not difficult to get. Speaking of which, I don't suppose you'll tell me who gave you that key.
Oh! Do I rat out my goat not boyfriend? Hey, Dick. Do I tell her Pan gave me the key? Do I trust Athena? Saying I won't tell you doesn't do me any favors. Ha! You're bad boy. That Mr. Jack. I'm gonna be cheeky.
The same person gave it to me who gave it to Calliope.
And who gave it to Calliope then? I see.
Speaking of the reliquary, you went there, right? Once Hecate told you what happened?
Yeah, I was not impressed by the delay.
If you had known about that, the night Calliope died, would it have made a difference?
The chances are
Jack.
exceedingly small that you attacked her there, it's true. Yet,
You attacked. She's still
Calliope
saying
was
you attacked
weakened,
her.
which made her more vulnerable prey for an enterprising mortal.
God.
One she knew.
She's still so
Perhaps the
directly
incidents are
blaming me.
connected, perhaps not. I cannot afford the risk of uncertainty, Grace. I'm sorry.
Okay, then.
I guess I'll get back to my investigation.
I am rooting for you, Grace. If there's another way to resolve this,
Can I have a
any
cookie?
way at all, I will take it.
Will you? Really?
Good luck. Feel free to take a cookie on your way out.
Ha! Oh, she did not take any of your stinky cookies, Athena. I would have taken the whole
Don't
plate.
take it personally, Grace. Athena's first instinct is to follow the rules whenever things get rough. As if she
Hey,
believes
Tara.
that if the idols don't blindly follow every rule to the letter, we'll dissolve into utter chaos.
Well, is she right?
Probably.
Ha, she's trying her best. No donuts, so no take.
Do you think she's telling the truth about the idols dying out?
I'm not sure. I mean, if it is true, why hasn't she told the rest of the chorus?
It sounds like she doesn't trust you.
Well, the feeling is mutual. At any rate, I'm afraid we're going to have to disappoint her again.
Uh-oh. What now?
You need to go back to the reliquary, Grace.
You know, Athena said something to me. That it'd be nice to know what Calliope was doing there in the first place.
And she's correct.
It's the only piece of the puzzle we're missing. Calliope went there because she had a plan. But what plan?
If she left clues behind, wouldn't Hecate have found them already?
That's a really good question.
We can't ask Calliope what her plan was. But you might be able to remember what she was doing there.
Her memories? But I thought...
That it will take years, yes. But if you go somewhere important to Calliope, or touch something special to her, you'll get flashes, feelings.
Do you want Grace to go to the reliquary so she can have deja vu?
I'm willing to wager the place Calliope met her fate has left its mark in Grace's psyche. We have only to uncover it.
That's what I said earlier. Let's like jog her memory.
Are you sure about this? You want me to wander around hoping something comes to me?
I do know something about how memories work after the transition, but no, I'm not certain. You want certainty? Wait until your trial. Without discovering more, the outcome of that is certain.
What if Medusa is lying? What about Pan? We could look into him some more, couldn't we?
Oh, my, you're just full of ideas, aren't you? Do you have any suggestions regarding how we might go about doing that?
Deja vu it is.
Last time Freddy and I were there, Hecate wouldn't let us into the reliquary. Not without Athena's permission.
I'm certainly not suggesting we ask Athena for permission.
Then you mean...
A week ago, I would have said breaking into the reliquary was impossible. Yet it appears Hecate can be surprised. If her book says she will be.
Let's hope the book says that again, I guess.
Unless you've some other plan. I'm all ears, as they say.
As they say.
What about the alarms? I'm not eager to have Asterion chasing me through the fog.
Calliope snuck in without setting off any alarms.
Aw, he's a pudding boy.
Well, I'll be following in Calliope's footsteps, won't I? What if I follow the wrong footstep and set them off?
Then they discover you and we apologize profusely.
Will not be a good look, though, just saying.
Let's say I do this. What am I hoping to find?
Some memory of who attacked Calliope, or why she was there. Anything we could work with. I've spoken to almost all the idols, and every single one says they hadn't seen or heard from her. If she was keeping to herself, then why now? What started this? We're missing something important, Grace.
What if Grace goes there and the memory she sees is that she attacked Calliope? A Grace from the future. It'd be a twist.
No.
Right then. Back to the reliquary it is.
Any idea how you want to do this, Grace? Because I'm game to help.
Cool.
Yeah, Freddy.
I'm sure we can figure something out.
Freddy is all in. Freddy just wants something to do.
I can't go in with you. Hecate would sense me right away. I will, however, stay close by. If anything happens, I'll come. Hecate won't stop me. The Minotaur won't stop me. Nothing will.
Woo! She will go in there with a fury. Kind of intense.
Wow. All that for me?
Ugh, can we just get on with this already?
Ew, in front of Freddy? Woo. Ooh, these are some options. Holy heck. Freddy distracts Hecate. Be honest with Hecate or sneak in the back way. Ooh, man, those are 3 very different options. I guess. Well, Hecate wasn't gonna let us in. I think I kind of want to be honest with her, but that, I don't know, like didn't work last time. Mama Dragon Tears! Almost 8 years! I know, what is time, seriously?
What? Almost 8 years. What even is time? I love your FAAAA.
I love your face as well, Mama Dragon Tears. I hope you're doing lovely, darling. I love you. I love you so much. 8 years. That's... Oh my god. Maybe she'll be more persuasive now that we've helped her and Asterion. That's true. We're gonna walk in on her and Asterion. My gut says be honest with her. Almost 8 years, noob.
So that is now. Oh, you were expecting us? It is written that you would come.
It is written.
That is so cool. I kid you not.
Yet it was also written that you would sneak into the reliquary as Calliope did, so this encounter is unanticipated.
Oh. It was written that we would sneak in. Wow, really, Cue Ball? Oh my god. Wow, I know, right? Like, I've been streaming for like 10 years. People have like graduated, gone to college, graduated from that, like all in the time I've been streaming. It's insane. That is crazy. Wow. Someone forgot to edit the book. We're already defying fate if the book said we would sneak in. So she would have caught us. Unless it was written that she didn't catch us. That's gotta really mess with your mind. Your book was wrong again.
This book of yours really isn't as accurate as you make it out to be. The course it lays out is almost always correct.
Almost.
The smaller things, they are subject to free will and frequently change. However, even without the book, I do understand why you've come.
Is there a reason why you believe my answer will be different now?
Uh-huh. You owe me.
Didn't I make you and the Minotaur, well, happier?
You did. It is pleasant.
Isn't that worth
It is pleasant.
This was true when you were here last, and yet I still considered my duty paramount.
I guess it can't be that pleasant.
My happiness is irrelevant. I am grateful for all you have done, but my purpose here cannot be so easily cast aside.
The only reason you won't let me in is because Athena forbids it, right?
She is the one to whom I made my promise, yes.
What if I said that she's a suspect in Calliope's death?
Is she a suspect?
She's an idol. I don't know that she's not a suspect. Yet. Without more evidence, isn't her command potentially self-serving?
You will regret this. That is also written.
That is a yes.
Go quickly. Look,
Who will
but do
regret
not
this
touch.
is
The
written.
reliquary stores many artifacts, some dangerous.
Got it.
What does your book say about whether I touch something? Whoa, sweet library.
Okay, Grace. What the heck do you do now?
It's the AO3 archives. It is
Of all the times to not have Freddy around, she'd love this. First things first, how do I do this? Where do I even start?
Well, she said don't touch anything, but I'm supposed to, like, jog my memory.
Calliope must have been here. She could have stood in this very spot. Maybe if I just focus.
Touch everything. Get your oily finger juice on every book. Except where are the ladders to get up to, like, the higher shelves? Lower time!
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I've definitely been here before.
It's all of Zagreus' weapons. Egg.
I don't get any feeling from that. Will I know it when I see it? Is that a weapon? A musical instrument? Maybe it's both.
It's a road cone.
What did Freddy say about mazes? Was it always go left? Or go left and then go right?
No, pick a direction and always go that direction.
Is this an armory, too? Freddy, are you out there? Can you hear me? What am I doing? All that'll do is tell everyone where I am. They should really charge for tours. It's kind of amazing.
Olive branch.
I don't even know what language that is. Shouldn't that be in a museum somewhere?
It is.
This is it. Calliope was here. She was standing right here. And she...
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, shanked. What?
Hello? Do you work for Hecate? Are you guardians or something? Okay then.
We're gonna sing to these mannequins, these statues. They got giant knives. They're fashionable, though.
What's happening? Why didn't it work?
Because they're not alive. Creepy.
Oh!
Freddy.
Grace? Freddy! We've got to run. My powers don't work on them. They just keep coming.
Creepy. Aww. What do you know, Freddy?
No, I won't let you. Freddy!
Shanked.
Shanked. Was that written?
You just got shanked.
Oh God. Oh God, Freddy.
By the gods.
You summoned the Furies.
The Furies.
What?
Those beings were the Furies, beyond all our laws. Not idols, but the embodiment of retribution. How did you draw them here?
I didn't. There was a big mirror, but I didn't even touch it.
There was only one mirror of which you could be speaking. That used by the goddess Nyx to contact the Fates. Using the mirror would not have brought the Furies down upon you. Not unless the Fates themselves decreed it.
What?
I don't care what brought them. They killed Freddy. You need to help her.
I have no power over life and death, Grace. None of us have that. This was no defense or spell of the reliquaries. I do not have the power to summon the Furies, and I know none who do. You should consider yourself fortunate, Grace. They do not desist until retribution has been exacted.
What did I do?
But now is when you leave. Pray the knowledge you obtained was worth the price.
Not really. Help me, Persephone!
Persephone, we can't just... There must be something we can do.
She made her choice, Grace.
No! It's not right!
Come. There's nothing more to be done.
Did Freddy know something about the Fates? Because she knows all about this stuff, right? Wonder if there was something that she knew. Like, did she know that if they killed one of us, they would stop pursuing? Though I don't know why they wouldn't stop pursuing us, since apparently we're the one that did something wrong. I guess it just bothers me. Like, I don't... Like, it's hard for me to get emotional over, like, a death in a game or something when the death doesn't make sense to me. when I feel like it like was poorly set up. Like, why did she just like these three things? It's like they ran away a tiny bit, but they didn't like look for the door. It's not like they were lost. Like they could have just kept running, tried to find an escape route, but Freddy's just like, no, I'm gonna, and then they stab me. She didn't try to fight him. Like it was just very odd. Like, right? How did Freddy even get in there? Like, did Hecate just like decide, oh, okay, it is written. Okay, now go. Right? Like, I don't understand. Take care, Cue Ball. It was great to see you. That'd be awesome. So like, I don't know, when I see a scene like this and it doesn't sit right with me, I think of like how could I have done it differently? Like how what would have made it justified to me? Like I said, if they had like looked for the door, if they maybe couldn't find the door, they started getting tired, they couldn't run anymore, and Freddy was just kind of like, you know, your mission's more important, and then like sacrifice herself. Or if like Freddy was like, she knew something about the fates, like, oh, in this one story they were pursuing someone, but then someone else jumped in front of them and then they stopped pursuing, right? Like if there was a story she was referencing that she was like, oh, I'll choose to sacrifice myself so you can go on. But there was none of that. There was no conversation. There was no like, and right, and like, how did she get in there? Like there's all this like, what happened, right? And so like now I'm going to have this like in the back of my mind for the rest of the game, like, okay, is there going to be some kind of reveal that like, oh, that was an illusion, or like I'm going to be waiting for something like that. I don't know. I was like, I don't mean to like ruin Freddy's death moment, but like I can't help that going through my mind. Like it's just like it does this, it's too odd to me, and like it's hard for me to believe that like they couldn't add 10 more seconds of something to make it completely justified or completely make sense. Like it just does, like, to me that's like a lazy death. That's like lazy writing. But maybe something else will happen, or maybe I don't know, maybe I just took it the wrong way. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. That didn't sit right with me at all. Oh, here. Okay. This can't be happening. Freddy, she's gone. I knew I shouldn't have let her keep coming with me, but I didn't think she could die. Freddy sacrificed her life for me. She stopped the Furies from killing me, and it's my fault she's dead. What am I gonna do now? I really hope Hecate doesn't regret... Hecate? Is that how they say it? Doesn't regret letting me into the reliquary, considering what happened later. She was so mad when I left. Idols calmed down eventually, right? Halfway through the week she gave me, Athena summons me to her office to, I'm not sure, apologize, lecture me. She wasn't happy about my visit to the reliquary, sure, but mostly she wanted to tell me about how the idols are dying. As in actually dying, losing their immortality, the whole thing. That's got to be hard for beings that have been around most of forever, but is that supposed to justify the trial? Athena can't take a chance on a lowly usurper like myself besmirching the great idol legacy as it quietly sunsets. She's like the strict school teacher who really wants to be the cool teacher, but just can't help herself. If she doesn't want the idols to die, and the Calliope idol is inside me, inside Grace, why would she want to kill Grace without Grace, like, passing the idol on? I guess Because that's, you kill me without letting it pass on, and I'm just, that's another dead idol. I thought that's what you wanted to avoid. Persephone explained away her behavior. Athena's a total control freak, sure, but that's how she's kept the idols alive for so long. Why she hasn't told the idols they're dying, Persephone really couldn't say. I go back to the apartment, and who's there waiting for me? Hermes. Not because they entered through some magical portal, though. Freddy let them in. She and Hermes are what, pals now? That's weird, right? Did I say Hermes was suspicious? I talked to them a bit at the apartment, and honestly, they seemed like the least suspicious idol of them all so far. Ernest, always eager to help the world, could use another Hermes or two. That means Hermes did it. All right, so the new plan is for me to go back to the reliquary, break into the part of it where Calliope went the night she died, and hope I remember something about what might have happened to her. It's a long shot, and I have zero idea what it's going to be like to recall someone else's memories, but I have to try. And it worked, kind of. Calliope went to the reliquary that night to contact the Fates with a magical mirror, but she never got the chance to speak with them. Just like me, she was attacked by the Furies, not idols, but embodiments of retribution. They enforced the idols' ancient laws, the kind that Zeus used to command, which surely died with him. Unlike with me, the Furies must have stabbed Calliope before she ran away. So now we think that the Fates killed her. Because she was trying to speak with them, but it went awry. What that doesn't tell me is why she needed to contact the Fates so badly. It also doesn't tell me who sent the Furies after her in the first place. According to Hecate, none of the idols have that kind of power. Considering the price we paid, I really wish we'd learned more. Across the Sticks. Finished Act 2. Act 3. Oh no, did I pick the path that got Freddy killed?
I'm sorry it
That
came
sucks.
to this, Grace. It's clear what your friend meant to you.
Oh. We left her there.
It should have been me, not her.
Don't say that.
This was my fight, my problem. I'm already slated to die. If anyone paid the price.
Yeah, right?
Your friend gave you the chance to not repeat history. Don't waste it. Grace, is that how Calliope died? Was she also attacked by the Furies? Do you remember?
Yeah. She meant to use the mirror, but she never had the chance before they came.
No doubt sent by the same person. Perhaps for the same reason.
Who could send the Furies after me? Even Hecate had no idea who possessed that kind of power.
No one does, not these days. Hecate herself would have been my guess. Zeus might have, in his role as king of old Olympus, but he is long gone.
Clearly someone can do it.
Unless they weren't summoned. They could have been responding to something you did unwittingly, something Calliope also did. And what that could be? I'm afraid I have no clue.
They just cleaned that mirror, and you were about to get your grubby fingers all over it.
What are the Furies? They didn't seem like people.
Think of them as forces of nature, but an aspect mortals rarely encounter. They're older than any idol. They were created to enforce the ancient laws.
There are ancient laws now?
Well, there were. Laws even the idols had to obey, from the earliest days of old Olympus. Even if they still existed and you'd broken one, we would all know. These are not petty crimes one stumbles into.
If the fairies are so powerful, why did they stop? They just stabbed Freddy and left.
They're not assassins, Grace. They exist to punish. They demanded blood, and blood was taken. It didn't need to be yours.
So if Freddy hadn't interfered...
They wouldn't have rested, not ever, until they had their due.
They just want to shank someone. Freddy must have known that. Because she knows about all that stuff. Not that she could know for sure that, like, the stories she's read are the same as, like, what happened in, you know, in this world. That's a huge risk to take.
I know Calliope was there to use the mirror, but it was just feeling. I still don't understand why.
There's only one use for that mirror, to speak to the Fates.
Yeah, okay, but why?
The Fates know all that is or will be. Destiny is theirs to command, or so it's said. One contacts them either to know one's fate, or to change it. Not that the Fates are likely to oblige.
Can these Fates really control the future?
They control the fate of all beings. I imagine it's they who give Apollo his powers, and they who write Hecate's books.
So someone really didn't want Calliope messing with them.
Or you, it seems.
Could it have been the Fates? Maybe they don't like being called on now for anything.
They're tired.
They're not known to be vindictive. If they don't want to answer, they simply won't.
I don't know what to do. We still have no idea why Calliope wanted to talk to the Fates.
Well, there is another way to ask them.
I wondered how long that would take. Hecate is enraged. She's threatened to
Come
close
on
out
in.
the reliquary entirely and forever. Athena is beside herself.
How long have you been standing there?
Long enough.
But I didn't touch
You just
anything.
had to keep pushing, didn't you? Until you got what you wanted.
This isn't about me. We're out of options, Apollo, and you know there's only one other way to contact the Fates.
Oh, how convenient.
We must project them onto your abs and ask them.
Wait, what's this about some other way? What are you talking about, Persephone?
May I explain it to Grace, or do you have another option, Apollo? If so, now's the time. I thought not. The Fates will respond to the ruler of Hades, the true underworld and realm of the dead. What I propose is that we go there and take back the throne that was stripped from me.
Holy damn. Wow.
Is that something we can do? Just go to the land of the dead and overthrow it?
Truth be told, there isn't much to overthrow. Few mortals still believe in Hades, and thus its halls have been nearly empty for eons.
So how do you...
so Ronry.
The throne itself is the key, both symbolically and literally. Claim it, and Hades is yours.
But you can't claim it because you're barred from Hades.
By a rule that we would need to break were we to do this, yes.
So if we go to Hades and find your throne, how much trouble would that get us into exactly?
A great deal.
I'm already gonna die,
Athena
so...
could execute Grace a second time.
But she's already been warned about breaking more rules.
The responsibility of this will be mine. Let Athena try to take my throne again.
Oh.
How do we get to Hades? Do we need a key, like the reliquary?
Is Cerberus there?
Athena took my key, and the entrance at Lake Avernus was sealed long ago, which leaves only Hermes.
They won't take you.
They might,
Hermes
if
is
you
my
ask
pal.
them to. Then why did you come, Apollo? To gloat? To wish Grace well?
Why
Or
are
to
you
actually
here,
help?
Apollo?
Get us there. I'll lead us to the throne, and Grace can speak with the fates. It's simple.
Oh, yeah.
Is Apollo right? Is this something you planned all along, Persephone?
Meaning what? What, that I knew what would occur at the reliquary? Perhaps you think I'm the one who unleashed the Furies upon you.
You've waited for this opportunity for over a century.
Waited.
Whoa.
Yes. Bided my time. And the moment has arrived.
But that's not why you originally agreed to help me?
No, that's not why.
I believe her.
Was another crazy plan, right?
Grace,
I know, but there's no point in stopping now, is there?
I can't. I'm sorry, but this is a
What
step
are you
too
good for,
far.
Apollo?
And consider this, Apollo. Grace's mortal friend was slain by the Furies. According to the old laws.
Her soul is in Hades.
Oh, you should have led with that.
Wait, what? Freddy's in Hades? Well, Persephone, why didn't you lead with that?
I didn't want it to seem like I was playing on your sympathy,
That wasn't the
Grace.
first thing you
But
told
you're
me.
playing on mine. Fine. I'll get you into Hades. But I'm not going with you.
If that's what you prefer, by all means.
Let's find Hermes and get this over with.
Oh, man.
Shall I wait here, or...?
No. I'm not gonna lie to them. Hermes has always treated me fairly.
Oh, hey, if it
Are they
isn't
drinking
Apollo and
Ramonade?
Grace and, Persephone. Wow, the whole gang, huh?
I'm afraid I have to call in that favor. I need you to take Grace and Persephone to Hades.
Oh, man, I don't know. Athena specifically said I wasn't supposed to take anyone, you know? No matter what.
Oh, this is pointless. They're never gonna help us, Apollo.
Athena this,
Can
Athena
I
that.
ask what's going on? Nobody ever tells me anything, and you want me to get in huge trouble, but for what?
Both of these? They're friends with Freddy now.
Freddy's dead, Hermes.
What? When did that happen?
She was killed by the Furies. That means she's in Hades. Probably. I have to try to find her there. You're her friend too. I know you wouldn't want to abandon her.
Okay.
Ha! Hop in the
Signal
trunk.
when you need to come back.
You sure?
Yeah, feels like the right thing.
Be careful, Grace. And remember, the underworld doesn't give up its shades without a price.
I think I can tell her the rules, Apollo. Let's go.
A price. My nose ring. For Freddy's soul.
Welcome to the real underworld.
Wow. It feels so empty. So lonely.
It's not completely empty. Neither is the throne, for that matter. A bitter shade named Orpheus has been squatting on it since my exile. I fully expect he'll be waiting for us.
Orpheus.
Who is this Orpheus? The name sounds familiar.
It should. His is a popular tale among mortals,
like
regarding how he
Tartarus.
once came to the underworld to retrieve his love, Eurydice, and left with nothing. Hades tricked him, you see, and with Hades dead, the blame
Oh.
has evidently fallen to me.
So he's not a fan of yours?
Are we gonna sing with Orpheus?
He is not a fan, no. Not that it matters.
You didn't think to mention earlier that the throne was occupied?
Because it's irrelevant.
holding it
Orpheus
for
isn't
her.
an idol. He's just an angry little man clinging to an existence that doesn't want him any longer.
Oh.
And
We have
what
to
are we
reunite
supposed
them.
to do? Organize an armed resistance? Challenge him to a duel?
That's
Yes.
what you're here for.
Card games.
I'm gonna fight him?
Did you bring your Yu-Gi-Oh deck?
Oh, you'll see.
Rap battle. Rap battle. Yes. I really have to use the restroom. Give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back. Let's play Orpheus and some Gwent. Yes. Aw, man, Gwent was so fun. Let's play Orpheus and Wheels. Yes, Wheels. Hello?
Okay, so there's an angry ghost sitting on your throne. Anything else about this trip you've neglected to mention?
Minotaurs.
Come. It's time to cross the Styx.
Woo-yoo. Did you bring your swimsuit? I miss Wheels too. See Zagreus zipping around.
The ferryman will come soon.
Charon?
As we are not dead, you will need to convince him you are worthy of passage. State your case clearly and with determination.
Are we gonna sing to Charon? Whoa, it's so big. Whoa!
I am Persephone, also known as Despoina and Kore Sotiera, once queen of the underworld, and shall be again. No, Caron, I did not bring you any cards. I am not here to entertain you.
Cards. I said booze.
Hey there. I'm Grace, idol and last of the muses. Is that enough?
Of course she's a muse. Why would she lie about such a thing? He says he's always liked the muses and that you're very pretty.
Want to go out?
No, she didn't. Neither of us brought games to play with you, Caron. Stop asking.
He just wants to play games. Whoa. We can find something to play.
Oh, I'm sure we can come up with something to amuse him. See? You don't even need to interpret that for me.
Oh my
Yes.
god, he's just
What
bored
fun.
and lonely.
Thank you for encouraging him. Let's get underway, Caron. It's a long ride to the throne room.
Corone. Yes, I told you to bring your Yu-Gi-Oh cards. Play Uno with Corone. Did we sing to him? We sang with them, didn't we? Charon, I play Dark Magician in attack mode. It means you activated my trap card.
Way too much for you. Overload you. Blow a fuse.
I have fuses?
Every story. Every memory winds up here in the water. I used to dream that this river would rise once her queen.
We're here for Freddy, too.
I killed the king fair and square. They had no right to take it from me.
I killed him fair and square.
A prize for a king. Property. Bound and gagged with silver and satin. I gutted a god. This hell is mine. I won't let it be forgotten.
Someone's
Orpheus.
There's music floating through. Someone's coming. And it has me singing too.
They're so
We
sad.
have visitors. I think we all know what to do. To the throne room. This bard's about to meet a muse.
Oh. Oh.
Someone's singing with us.
That would be Orpheus.
Is he a muse?
Oh, he's so much more than that.
Someone's
You
coming.
better be ready.
A wolf is waiting in the tomb.
He's a master of his
Someone's
craft.
coming.
We have to take
I
back
can feel them howling at the moon.
what is mine.
Forget why we came here.
There's a name here
I won't forget,
that reeks
but you
of
can bet he
enemy.
knows someone's coming.
It's about time, Persephone.
Orpheus, I've been. What happened to the music?
I've been waiting for you, Persephone, for so long.
He's written this banging song.
Hi. Lovely tune, by the way.
Those are some
Can't
giant
remember the
shackles
last
back
time
there.
I collaborated with someone so talented.
Except for Cerberus.
No offense, Betty.
Benny! Benny!
My
Aw, you just dissed
Let me
Benny.
treat you to a song. A welcome gift. I have the floor. It is
How
mine,
dare.
after all.
Benny, we'll sing with you,
Yes.
Benny.
Any requests? Questions?
Are you really that good?
Do, down, out, loop it. I wouldn't say that I'm good. I wouldn't say that I'm great. I wouldn't say that my timing's perfect. I wouldn't say that I'm late. But you can say that he's the best that's ever been. The best you've ever
He's
seen.
got his little ghosty
Best
groupies.
you've ever heard. And I haven't even really sung a single word.
I think I chose poorly.
Okay, just getting a gauge. Not your thing?
I think I
Another
chose
request?
poorly.
What's your problem with Persephone?
Dow, 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 loop it. Dow, dow, dow. I didn't do what I was told, didn't know that it was all a game. I didn't think that he would do it. Then Eurydice was gone. And Persephone, you stood right beside him and said, what a shame. He was always gonna kill her and you knew it. And I never got to have my revenge. My pain never ends. I see you now. Persephone won't turn my back. I won't turn my back on you again.
I beg your pardon. I wanna behave properly. It's not your song. You better stay open. She's a friend and a god.
Throne is for me. I won't let it be throne was stolen. After I murdered the king, you should be grateful and thank me for everything. And yet you scream like a boy, you kick the ground. I was a slave.
Eurydice is gone because you did nothing.
Orpheus, there was nothing I could do.
I saw your whispers, poison behind your king.
Wasn't me.
If I cannot have my revenge, you're the next best thing.
Orpheus, instead of a life of despair, Hades would have ended you there. This place would still be humming.
Oh, I rather doubt that.
Doesn't make it any less true.
Am I the one on trial now?
We made a bargain. Now I doubt everything. Promise me you're not using me. I told you we're here for Freddy. We're wasting our time.
Child cannot see.
We can't let it be.
Hey, Ardoc. They have good harmony.
That throne doesn't belong to you, and you know it.
If I didn't do what I was told, I'd be dragged across the palace floor. Hades can't hurt us anymore. But Eurydice is still gone.
That's really pretty.
For what it's worth, you've my apology. But I assure you, nothing more. For deep down you know that there's no revenge.
The pain never ends.
The pain never ends.
There's no revenge.
This was never gonna end the way you wanted to.
That part gave me chills.
Turn my back.
I was mad about the rest of the song, but that was really beautiful.
On you
I had forgotten how sweet a melody could be. Such thoughts become clouded in this place. Forgive me, my lady of the night.
An empty chair for an empty kingdom.
It doesn't sound like it brings you anything but bad memories.
Perhaps you're right. All the reasons I wanted it are long gone now.
So we could have just let him keep it. We took it just
Feel
to
better?
destroy it.
Yes. That makes what I have to tell you all the more difficult, however.
Uh-oh. Does that mean we can't get Freddy back?
I lied.
Oh, no.
Even if we could find Freddy, you couldn't bring her back. The laws of death
You
are not so
lied to
easily
me.
circumvented.
And the fates?
They will not help you or anyone. Even if you could speak to them, they will not care. And never have.
Wait, what?
You lied. To me? To Apollo? To Hermes?
I thought it such a small transgression to regain this throne. I would have said anything.
and then just like destroyed it. Wait. Oh, we can break up with her right now. I can excuse lying to me or Paula, but Hermes, he's too precious. They're too precious for this, right? Oh my god. Wait, should we break up with her? Wait. Freddy did die. Freddy died in the, I don't want to break up with her.
That's it then. We came here for nothing.
I doubt the fates would have responded even to the mirror, Grace. And the boundaries of death cannot be commanded
The
away.
Furies
Not even
were
by the
chasing
ruler of
me for
Hades.
doing something I don't know what I did.
You weren't
And
gonna
Freddy
share.
jumped in front of him.
Not while you still had a shot at sticking it to Hades.
At the very least, I had hoped we might
killed
find your
her
friend's
instead of me.
spirit.
Why? We can't bring her back.
Aww.
Not without great sacrifice, no.
Oh.
No, the rules of death are clear. Yet, you might have spoken to her.
She did.
I
say
know
that.
what it's like
It would
not
be
to
like
get the
a great
chance to say
sacrifice
goodbye.
or exchange. Abdication, you destroyed the throne of Hades. Aww.
Freddy, you're here.
She's like, did you bring Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
I've actually been watching you since you arrived. It's not like there's much else going on.
Fred,
No, don't even start, Grace. I made my decision. I don't regret it one bit.
Aww. Aww. So what do you do there? She's like, there's not much going on. Well, like, actually sounds pretty great. Like, you don't have to, like, go to work or worry about, like, doing chores. I mean, what do? You just get to sleep and hang out and think, and I guess there would be what amenities are in Tartarus. Just learn how to cook and sing all day. That's right. Right. She's the mythology nerd, and now she gets to like hang out in the underworld. That's actually pretty cool. Eternally bored, like Charon. Did you bring games? Did you guys bring games? That's the question. Do you get to eat? Because you might not get to eat. Hey, what's up, Savon? I do not currently have plans to play Persona 3, no.
you shouldn't even have been there. I never should have gotten you involved.
Hey, no. You didn't get me involved. I got myself involved.
And look what happened.
I got to be the hero of the story. Just for one shining moment. How cool is that?
But what about the band?
This isn't a story, Fred.
Huh? You're wrong. It is a story. And you need to finish it. Without me.
Aww.
Hey, no.
At least we got to say
I
goodbye.
guess this is it, huh? Almost. I found someone while I was down here. Someone you really need to meet.
Oh, there we go.
Calliope? This... You can't be real. Your soul is inside Grace.
My Eidolon is inside Grace. The rest of me... I'm here, Persephone.
This is real.
Aww. Aww. Hey, it's that girl that died on my floor.
I, guess you two were better acquainted than you said. Huh, Persephone?
Stephanie lied about a lot of stuff.
Years ago, Persephone couldn't take my lectures any longer.
I'd take them now.
Aww.
I miss them.
Aww.
Think about how bitterly we argued at the end. Don't blame yourself. Not when there are so many fond memories to cherish instead.
I don't get it. I thought the Eidolon was Calliope's soul. But if that's true, then...
The Eidolon is what makes us an idol, but it's not our soul. Each of us adds a piece to it as it passes on.
But what about the memories?
The memories are but a reflection. And after the Eidolon is passed on, old memories become a reflection of a reflection. That's why the idols have forgotten so much. You knew this truth once, Persephone. Long ago.
Does this mean there's like 18 Aphrodites down here just like being tormented by their memories forever? The River of Forgetfulness. Oh, okay, so can you choose to jump into the river? Choose to jump into the river and forget? Okay. There you go. Dare I say it, I think this game is better storytelling than what the people who make Borderlands Walking Dead put on. This is good, really good. Yeah, it's really neat. I'm just always so impressed in these games with like the threads, like I can't even imagine like the dialogue tree and like I mean and with the songs and everything, like crazy. Absolutely crazy.
We need to know what happened to you, Calliope. How did you die?
Why didn't you come to me? If you were in trouble, I would have protected you.
Aww.
I know you would have. But I couldn't let you be drawn into Apollo's prophecy as well.
Apollo's prophecy?
He didn't tell you? No. I don't suppose he could have. It's a long story.
Just tell me who killed you. Now, what was the thing about Apollo's prophecy? There's like the book of like what is to be, but it can be wrong. And then there's Apollo's prophecies. It's like once you hear the prophecy, you're locked into it or something like that. He's like I could tell you what's gonna happen, but then you can't change it or something? And how is that different than the book of what's gonna happen?
Start with Apollo.
Yeah.
How is he involved in all this?
Apollo delivered, with great reluctance, a prophecy that said I needed to die.
And who did he deliver this prophecy to?
Athena.
No.
Oh.
Then she sent the Furies after me when I went to the reliquary. I barely escaped. I fled back to the mortal world. To you.
Why did you go to the reliquary? We know about the mirror, but...
You wanted to annul the prophecy.
And the Fates are the only ones who could, if they would even help me. I doubted it, but I was desperate. I never got the chance to ask. Someone told Athena where I was going, and she must have realized what I meant to do.
But how did she get the Furies to attack you? They aren't pets. You didn't break any of the old laws.
I don't know. Maybe it's something the ruler of the idols can do. But you'd have to ask Athena.
Okay, so Apollo gave Athena a prophecy that said that Calliope had to die.
You went to Pan for the key to the reliquary, right?
Yes. He's the reason I knew about Nyx's mirror, actually. He told me about it long ago.
He told Medusa where you went. She, I expect, told Athena.
Oh. Pan couldn't have known what it would mean. I didn't explain.
That's it. You forgive him, just like that.
I'm sure he feels guilty enough, my love.
My love.
Apollo hates using his power. Why would he have given a prophecy to Athena?
Because she demanded it. She was desperate.
How did you even find out?
Apollo was horrified after he delivered the prophecy, and he refused to stay silent. And he came to warn me. He was torn. Telling me meant I was locked into it.
Shoot.
I still think he did the right thing. Though I expect he disagrees.
It was either warn her or stop Athena somehow. But why would he give a prophecy to Athena that said someone else had to die? Was the prophecy that Athena had to kill her? It had to be, because if you give someone a prophecy, it's about them, right?
What was the prophecy? Surely I need to hear it.
If I tell you, you'll be locked into it, just like me.
But the prophecy doesn't just say you have to die. There's more to it, right? They always require interpretation.
Apollo told Athena that. He begged her not to jump to conclusions, but maybe she was right.
It doesn't just involve you, does it? It involves me. It must, or you wouldn't hesitate.
Athena wanted to know if there was a way to save the idols. The answer was this. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives.
And I'm the last muse.
And now you know the prophecy.
Okay. The idols cannot continue as long as the last muse lives.
Why come to me? Of all the places you could have run to, why come to my apartment?
Because I was dying.
But I couldn't save you. I barely even knew you.
I was wandering the streets that night, wondering if I should go to the reliquary or just flee. And I heard you singing. I followed you home after to see where you lived. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I thought, just in case, I knew I had to hold out until I reached you.
Those are very different answers.
I wish you hadn't. You didn't give me any choice.
I wanted to. I thought I would at least have time to explain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have believed you.
The Furies, they kept coming. It was all I could do just to reach you. I am so sorry, Grace. I truly did not mean for it to be like this.
Athena will pay.
Do you blame Athena for what she did?
She wanted to save the idols. And I wanted that too.
Well, I blame her. And Apollo for not telling us what she'd done.
If he had, Grace would have been locked into the same fate as Calliope.
We don't know that.
That's how it works, Persephone. What's up, Nats? Thank you for the raid. Serious goings on. Ooh. Ooh. And spoilers for Stray Gods, so warning. Spoiler warning. Thank you so much, Nats. I hope you had a wonderful stream. Tekken! Oh, cool. There was someone in here earlier talking about Tekken. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh, man. What now?
I have to go back. And I have no idea what will happen. None of this seems real.
So many years of history, the fights, the highs, the misery.
And we get to hear her sing again.
I'm so proud of you, but it's time to go.
Oh, that violin is so pretty. Use the River of Forgetfulness to forget games you want to play again for the first time.
It's time to
Oh, I'm choosing for them. Or for me. Oh, for me. Okay. I don't know it was about Freddy.
nowhere to go.
Aww. There's a stink bug about to crawl across my camera.
To guide the way across the storming sea.
Always going under, okay? Sorry. Stink bug is ruining the moment. Dude, stop. Where? Come here. I don't know where to put you, but don't be on my camera. Here. Over there.
Whatever path from which you think you strayed, you will find your way. But it's
my queen.
To go. Aww. It's time to go. If I could bring you back, I would give it all to you, my best friend. If I could choose a muse,
You would give up godhood?
What's it doing for me? I can sing real cool. That would be her trade, her sacrifice.
every day, a life for a life, Farishta, please stay.
Does that mean Freddy's gonna become... No, Freddy!
It's time.
Freddy, take it! Mm-mm. No, Freddy. What do you mean it's time? Freddy, I think Freddy wants to stay here. She's like, no, it's time. Why would she possibly want... Wait, if I give up godhood, then Athena won't want to kill me, right? What? She did say not without a major sacrifice. What? Yeah, sure, I don't need this godhood. Take it. Get me out of this. Let's go back to being roommates.
Knows what comes next, but I will face it beside you.
Ooh, you haven't seen this yet? Oh, she got the eyes. The ultimate sacrifice. You just couldn't let her go.
Return.
Aww. She's back!
You actually brought me back from the dead.
Of course I did.
Of course I did. Just brought you back.
Did you get a chance to speak to the Fates?
Yeah, so like is Freddy the Calliope now?
What happened?
Peekaboo
What?
Peachy Wave Peachy Wave Peachy Wave AAAANDBU bye. Sat through the song so I didn't disturb.
Peekaboo and bye-bye. Skipper, why do you smell like poop? Come here. Jump. No? Is that you? Somebody smells like poop. No? Just somebody fart. Somebody poo in my room. What is happening? Oh my gosh. What the heck? Wow. You could just give up Musehood. That's insane. Wow. Wow. See, now that's a cool way to bring a character back. Like, if you're gonna bring a character back, it better be cool. That was cool. The stink bug? No, I know what stink bug smells like. It's not stink bug. Now I have to eat and poop and all that living stuff. I know, right? Freddy seemed like she didn't want to come back. She's like, you brought me back. She's like, no, I wanted to stay dead. You'll go back there someday. Then you can just sleep all day. Wow. Wow. We know you I want to say every one of these. Call them out.
We know what happened. We know about the prophecy and Athena.
Oh.
That's all you have to say? Oh? You knew. You knew the truth this entire time. Even when you said you were helping Grace.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Tell me everything.
Is there more you haven't told me? Did you know about the Furies as well?
No. I didn't know how Calliope died.
But you knew Athena was behind it.
I thought I could nudge you in the right direction. Help you find the truth without learning about the prophecy.
Well, you failed. We know it now.
Well, then it's done. You're locked into it, as is Freddy. Athena will want her dead, too.
Ah,
Right.
shit.
I actually hadn't considered that part.
I'm so sorry, Grace.
Oh, shit. I didn't think of
I
that.
never meant for this to happen.
Oh, well, like I said, she'll just end up there. Either way, you're going back
That's
eventually,
right.
Freddy.
Leave. It's what you're best at.
Okay. Apollo. Damn it, Apollo.
I don't know how this will affect your trial. We could tell them what we've learned. Even without proof, it makes enough sense that Athena couldn't just brush it off. You're not the last muse any longer. After all, your Freddy isn't on trial. Yet if
But
Athena
she's gonna
believes
be.
you both need to die in order to save the idols, she'll find a way.
Right, right. Ooh, make a deal. Oh, seriously, Skipper, like, what's with the stinkies? You're stinky.
Does there still need to be a trial? If we go to Athena privately, maybe we could work out some kind of deal.
She won't make a deal. All that will afford her is a chance to kill you before the trial.
She tried that once already.
And your friend died as a result. No. No, it's a clever thought, but Athena needs to be challenged in front of everyone. I intend to keep my promise. We go to the trial and I'll help you, even if it means overthrowing Athena. Calliope would approve.
But what about...
Just so you understand, our chances aren't good. I suggest you do whatever necessary to prepare.
Great.
Confront Pan. I like how it's confront, not like speak with. That's a good question, Regal Peach. Of course it's Athena. Pan lied about the reliquary. Persephone lied about the underworld. Apollo lied about the prophecy. Everybody lied. Oh, what if Freddy gives up her godhood to bring back Calliope and stays human? The loophole. Oh. But then Calliope would just be on the chopping block. How much longer can you go on tonight? This could be the best place to stop today. Mr. P will probably start to stream around 7, so like 45 more minutes. Is that enough or no? God's lying and playing games. That's true, Eternal. That's true. Think, think. Think, think. I did sleep 3 hours last night. With all the optional dialogue and such. Okay, yeah. All right, let's read the journal. And then we'll stop. And did I have anything else on the schedule for tomorrow? No. Okay, we'll finish this up tomorrow. I can't believe it. I did it. I went into the underworld, and even though Persephone believed there was no way to get Freddy back, there really was. All it took was a big enough sacrifice, and that meant me giving up my Eidolon. So Freddy is the muse now, and me? I'm just immortal again. I don't know how I feel about that just yet, but the important thing is that Freddy is alive. I saved her, and I've never felt better about anything ever. Wait, did I do something wrong? Is Freddy mad at me? Oh god, I better go and talk to her. Uh-oh. Unlike with me, the Furies must have stabbed Calliope before she ran away. Okay. Whoa! So the new plan is this. I go into Hades with Persephone, yes, the actual underworld and land of the dead, and we take back her throne. That will allow us to not only talk to the Fates and find out what Calliope wanted with them, but also bring back Freddy. Sounds great, provided it's all true. Apollo showed up again out of nowhere, declaring that Persephone's being suspicious, but he's not exactly helping or full of alternatives. I have no choice but to trust Persephone for now. As for what we learned in the underworld, holy crap, Calliope was there. I guess her soul and the Eidolon are separate things, which even Persephone didn't know. The important thing is that there's another stink bug. Oh my god, I'm surrounded. The important thing is that Calliope was there and I got to talk to her. She told us everything. It was Athena. She received a prophecy from Apollo to save the idols, and that's why she summoned the Furies. She can do that? To kill Calliope, to try and keep it from happening. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. I became the last muse after Calliope's death, and now Athena wants me dead. To keep the idols safe? This is huge. Apollo brought us to Hermes. Hermes owes him a favor, something about stealing 50 cows, to ask if they'd bring Persephone and I to Hades, and they agreed, even though it was against the rules and it might get them into trouble. Hermes is the best. Hermes is the best. Guess who I bumped into at Aphrodite's little death party? Small worlds, these idols. Turns out it was good. Apollo was there. Okay. Apollo knew who the murderer was all along. Athena came to him for a prophecy on how to save the idols, and he gave it to her. But it doesn't make any sense. If Apollo knew about the prophecy, why did he stop Athena from just killing me at the start? Because he loved Calliope, right? Why did he help me at all? Calliope said he's lying to protect me, to prevent me from sharing her fate, but I know the prophecy now, so whatever it is, I'm locked into it. Well, it wouldn't matter if, like, you knew the fate. If someone else's fate was to kill you, then if that's gonna happen, you might as well tell the other person. Like, it's still, like, the same, right? I know the prophecy now, whatever it is, I'm locked into it. All of Apollo's lies were for nothing. I think we're due a very serious conversation when I get back. I tried to talk to Apollo when I got back to the apartment and give him the benefit of the doubt, but it didn't get very far. He basically admitted to everything Calliope said and then left after a bunch of apologies. If I want to have a real discussion about this, it'll have to be at his beach house. We have our murderer. Of course it's Athena. Well, we have our murderer. It was Athena all along. We got it straight from Calliope herself. Athena went to Apollo for a prophecy on how to save the idols. The idols cannot continue so long as the last muse lives. Calliope was the last of the muses, and then it was me. So we had to go. She's had it in for me from the very start. She never intended to let me live no matter what I did. Thing is, I don't exactly have proof of this. Somehow I doubt Athena would back down even if I did. Oh, and apparently she can also summon the Furies. You know, the embodiment of retribution that my powers don't even work on. This is going to be trouble, isn't it? We're going to have to, like, battle the Furies. Yeah, it's like I thought. Persephone agreed that Athena isn't likely to stop now. The trial will go forward, and if Athena thinks killing both Freddy and I will save the idols, she'll do it. Meaning, we'll have to find a way to stop her if we can. How exciting! Okay, except it was all a lie, all of it. Maybe it's why Persephone originally agreed to help me, and it's been her plan all along, or maybe she just couldn't resist the opportunity. The entire trip to the underworld was Persephone trying to get what she wanted and nothing more, exactly what Apollo accused her of. Even so, I couldn't keep the throne from her. Persephone needed to realize on her own that it's an obsession which has brought her nothing but misery, so she decided to destroy the throne. As for the lying and manipulation in bringing me here just to get it in the first place, well, that's a conversation we'll have when we get back to the real world. On a separate note, I learned that Persephone and Calliope were in love. They weren't friends, they were a couple. Well, ideally, you want to be both, right? The cow thing is a reference to one of Hermes' myths. He stole them as a baby and was still clever enough about it that Apollo couldn't track them down. He stole 50 cows as a baby. What? They weren't friends, they were a couple. I guess they broke up a couple of years ago, but the way Persephone acted from the start makes so much more sense now. Well, I tried talking to Persephone once we got back to the apartment, but she wasn't having it. If I want to settle this, I'll have to hunt her down for whatever good that'd do. Is there anything new for Pan? Okay, turns out that Pan wasn't lying. Is he innocent? No. Was he the killer? No. He sold out Calliope and told Medusa where she was going. Medusa probably told Athena, and so Athena summoned the Furies to kill Calliope. But Pan probably had no idea that would happen. I guess it's good to know the whole truth, finally. Orpheus! You know that story about Orpheus and Eurydice, how Orpheus goes into the underworld to get his love back, and Hades says, okay, but only if you never look back the entire way to the surface. Right before the exit, Orpheus loses his nerve and looks back, and thus Eurydice is forced to remain dead forever. Cruel, classic, and apparently true. Or the heart of it seems to be anyhow. Orpheus was so bitter about the whole thing, he's waited on that empty throne all these thousands of years, waiting for Persephone to return, just to keep her from it. I don't know why he blames her and not her former and now dead husband, but I guess I'll find out. A little detail Persephone failed to share before our arrival. It seems that, as the greatest bard of ancient Greece, Orpheus had powers similar to mine. So when we showed up in the underworld's throne room, he and I duked it out musically, until I finally convinced him this whole vendetta of his wasn't worth it and it was time to move on. Last I saw of him, he and the few shades left in Hades who supported him had wandered off into the shadows together, hopefully to find their rest. Orpheus and his groupies. Zoop. Zoop. Main menu. Aha. All right, we'll finish this tomorrow. We are so close. We're so close. Such a good game.